Monster Hunter.
How is it going, everybody? How is everybody doing? Just finishing getting everything set up here. I wanted to kind of go over some things because I feel like when I made my Mid-Year Mayhem videos, there was a whole lot of extra stuff that I feel like you guys should be doing before the event ends. So I wanted to use this as an opportunity to kind of show, like, what are some other things that you can do? How am I going to kind of wrap up this event? Economically, what are some things? Because I'm going to be doing some things here. But hello, Ryan. Hello, Jack Hall. Hello, Dancing Danny. Hello, E Mizzle. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. And the first thing I wanted to do, just because I got into it, oh my gosh, this is why you don't wait to go on stream to do things. Because I was like, I want to go to Bruma and and buy some Deadly Strike. Ah. Not what you want to see, because that was what I wanted to do first. I waited to get into a campaign that was competitive. Oh, oh I don't. It's not a pre-recorded. I don't have a dad joke at the beginning. I mean, I could improv one. I hope you guys are doing well. I guess we'll go try to go to Burma here, regardless. Except now, the beginning of the video, well, live stream, we're gonna have to improv a little bit because I want to start off by buying some of the items that I had talked about, kind of hyped up, and just kind of show you guys how I list them in a database. That's beautiful. Oh, the train too. Yeah, I accomplished what I wanted to, so I wanted to get to 5-star general this event. That way, I could buy the Elder Scroll. That was kind of my big goal. Question is how bad is it in Burma right now? Not looking great. By the way, if you ever see an outline on a flag, that means that they're actively standing on that flag, or there's a guard on the flag. I wonder if we could still buy the stuff. I forget which flag actually has the vendor. It's been such a long time since I've been to Burma. I want to say it's this one over here. What is this one over here? Look at that. That's the wrong guy. There we go. Just buy some of these items here. This is the whole point of PvP. You just ignore everything going on around you, and then you're good. Everything's hunky dory. No! No! Taken right in front of us. Well, that's not ideal, but whatever. At least we were able to buy some, I guess. How many did I even get? I have to look here. The other thing that I wanted to tell you guys too is to make sure that you're doing is make sure that you are setting a campaign as your home campaign. And then what I would honestly encourage you to do is to get as many characters to rewards tier 1. It's literally only about 25,000 alliance points to do so. And then if you do that, you get a bunch of transmutes. And to me, transmutes are the most valuable currency in the game, just because of how fucking annoying they are. Isn't that one of you? Wait a minute. Wait a minute, you guys see this? Isn't this you? Aren't you guys in the chat right now? Hey, I read the rules earlier on in the teabagging. Stream snipe. Just kidding. I was gonna say stream sniping is illegal. Let me see how many items I have. I only have 10 more inventory spaces that are open anyway. I do think that whole conversation was kind of funny, and the whole teabagging argument I just find so like funny because the funniest part is that there's so many emotes that are arguably like 100 times worse than being teabagged. So why would you ever shoot? Why would you ever complain about getting teabagged if you're getting, absolutely ham-fisted by some other emote like the siege emote? Like where you can set a little trebuchet up and shoot people with them. Yeah, that's all good though. We got the items that we wanted. Or we can go back. It also rarely ever leads to a ban. Like how many? I don't know anybody that's been banned for teabagging or even like aggressive behavior. Now, granted, I don't spend a whole lot of time in Riften, but yeah, or the flip the bird emote. It's like with how many worse emotes there are, but it really is the perfect encapsulation of what I was trying to say. Is I have this guy that I work with, as a social worker. He physically lost his doctor. I don't know if you guys recognize this, but it's really hard for your doctor to say like, "It's not you, it's me. I can't do this anymore." For your doctor to tell you that, that's a big thing. And then for him to press charges on you is an even bigger thing. And he told me that he was just exercising his First Amendment rights. He called them every single day, I think for like 3 to 4 weeks straight on every work day, and basically was harassing them and making statements like, if you don't give me this, then I'm going to come burn the place down, blah, 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 blah. And got in trouble for it because you can't do that, little silly gooses. So there's a difference between like, being funny and like, oh, I'm just emoting on somebody versus losing your entire doctor's office. Bit of a difference, Hopefully we can get a dagger. Although, so apparently on PlayStation, the deadly daggers are worth less than the rallying cry. Is it an ice staff? What staff did that guy say it was? I want to say it was either an ice or a fire staff, and I was like, that is wild. Because to me, deadly is still used significantly more than rallying cry, but economically, I was fascinated by that because I'm like, wow, that's interesting. I think the reason why Deadly Strike just retains so much value is because it's used on the most popular classes, Templar, Arcanist. Like, if you're a brand new player, what are the 2 classes that you're probably going to gravitate more towards? Arcanist, if you have all the DLCs, because everyone's like, oh my god, the Arcanist is so broken. And then you're like, well, I'm going to make an Arcanist. I want to be broken. Or a Templar, because how many videos exist where it's like, you can beat the hardest arena in the game with 2 buttons on a Templar, or the Templar is the most, profitable, the easiest to pilot class in the game. Everyone's like, okay, and then it just gets so much popularity for that reason. Not to say that Rallying Cry is bad. I actually really like Rallying Cry. It's just, it doesn't really compete, But apparently on PlayStation, it competes a little bit more. But Rallying Cry is also newer as a set. I believe Deadly Strike was released first. Although I think that it came out before the sticker book was created anyway. That is true, Spiny Hog. I definitely agree with you that it's definitely the best back bar set for pretty universal PvP builds. I actually have a Rallying Cry build for a sorcerer, even though like sorcerers I like to build like pure stats just because it gives you like a bigger shield. I mean, that's why I like that's why I like having so much magicka, just for like having really juicy shields, because shields are constantly nerfed like every other day. I feel like they nerfed the shields for the sorcerer, but that's okay. But yeah, I still have a build that uses Rallying Cry The thing with Rallying Cry though is that I think that where it falls short is that it's just used less than Deadly, because Deadly you can use for PvP and PvE, and very few sets are like that, and because it's just so highly recommended, you know. So we'll go list all this stuff up. I also, fun fact, because I just showed this on stream kind of one time. One of my favorite comments I saw last week is somebody saying that they didn't know that you could list items from any bank. They thought that you had to actually walk to the stall that the guild trader was in. So he just streaming, you know, was crazy. Oh yeah, like you can use, yeah, like it's still good on sorcerers. I just sorcerers are a bit weird because sometimes you want to build them differently, and that's where that's where I think they get the most love too. If you're using deadly, like if you guys had to guess, like what's the most popular class to play as, and I'll actually put a poll in YouTube, so we'll probably get a good answer. Like, what do you guys think is the most popular class if you had to pick one right now? Obviously, try not to let future patches influence you, because I'm curious on more of the here and now. I know that Warden's going to finally get some love, but and Necromancer to a lesser extent, but I don't think that really. I don't think it's going to change, you know? Like, I don't think that Necromancers and Wardens are going to even become, like, anything decent, even the new patch notes. I'm curious. What are these listed for? 14k. You ever need to know, by the way, you could just, like, if you're, like, want to price check your own items in a stall, you could just hold X, and it will show you if any are listed. You can kind of price check items in that vendor as you go. I was curious, because I saw Deadly Jewelry selling for quite a bit, which surprised me, because you would think that with all the alliance points that are on the, you know, the market these days, that people would, they would just use their alliance points. But what do I know? Sometimes it's fun to be wrong or off base just because it's kind of interesting, you know? I always like to be surprised. A lot of people hate being wrong, but I like to be surprised, you know? Like, I think it's like, oh, I did not expect this, you know? In general, Arcanist, yeah, I think you guys are saying Arcanist. I think it's just such a cool class, too. Like, if it was more like, you know, if it was more like the Necromancer, where it's kind of like, oh yeah, you can't use certain skills inside the town, it's a bit hard to pilot, I think it wouldn't be as popular. But with how easy it is to use an Arcanist, the seamlessness for using it is just like immaculate. Yeah, I think that Wardens for PvP are actually. I always thought that Warden's biggest problem was not PvE. It was, or excuse me, it wasn't PvP, it was PvE. I think for PvP, Wardens have always been decent. My problem with playing a Warden is, especially if it's a Stam Warden, you're really just relying on things like Dizzying Strikes and, you know, like you're just using your bugs, Dizzying Strike, and Executioner Strike. And that's like, you just keep spamming those three buttons on people. That's like all you, like the tools that they have just felt like that they weren't as good, and they felt very predictable. Like if I saw a Warden, I knew what they were going to do. Versus even stuff like sorcerers can be pretty like versatile in some of the stuff that they can do, some of the skills that they have. You know, there's ones that will, you know, even use like crazy stuff like dual wielding daggers and do all sorts of crazy stuff. Like I use the Vate Strand Ice with the Master's Dagger combo, and people, you know, would misjudge it because they would see, oh, a sorcerer, but then you just bam, you know, you can kind of surprise people with stuff. It's not a bad setup. It's just predictable. That was my biggest complaint when it came to them. It just, I always felt like I knew what was about to happen. Like, okay, they're gonna try to dizzying strike me. They're gonna try to do all these other things. And the other thing too about dizzying strike is you can dodge it because it's got a decent wind up. So if you know that somebody's just gonna spam dizzying strikes on you, you can actually avoid it more easily than you can avoid certain other things. Like if I use streak as a sorcerer's son, which is like the teleport, it's much harder to dodge that versus dizzying strikes too. Oh yeah, well, it's also different too if you're playing as a mag one too. It's a bit different. I also did just intentionally list some of those pieces for 12 and some for 10. I want people to think like, oh, 10 is actually cheaper. Like, look, it's 2,000 off. Like, sometimes I do that where I undercut myself just because I think that eventually they'll all sell. Um, Sometimes I'll just go on autopilot too when I list items. But I have intentionally undercut myself. That way people think that they might be getting like a good deal. Because they're like, man, there's like 8 of these listed for this, and then 2 of them listed for this. We gotta snatch those 2 up. And I'm like, yeah, snatch them up. I'm also trying to like mentally take note of the trait too. Because sometimes traits are important. No, I'm not gonna go Quagmire right now. Get all these listings up and whatnot. Thank you guys, by the way, for so many of you being here. Like, this is we have 73 concurrent viewers between both things. That's that's a lot. So thank you guys. I had the Deadpool song stuck in my head. Which I just want to, vent a little bit. So I spent 10 hours yesterday editing a YouTube video, and I used a song that people use on TikTok all the time. It's Mariana Cross by Ghost. It's used consistently in YouTube Shorts, but I put 20 seconds of it in a YouTube video, and it's copyright claimed. And I have to now wait for a manual review to go all the way through before I can post that video, which could take up to 30 days. I mean, I might just remove the song, but like I also synced up the song, pretty well. So, a little frustrated to say the least. Which I don't know how like certain platforms like just get away with like, oh yeah, you could just play this song openly, and then other ones it's like, not today. Like if you posted a Facebook video and you can monetize your Facebook accounts, which is just very weird to me, you can easily like start just posting like almost whatever you want essentially. How's everybody's weekend though? Hope you guys had a good weekend. I'll show you guys here what I'm talking about when I'm referring to rewards tier 1, because I really want you guys to utilize the end of this event as much as you possibly can, as this is one of the best events to getting rewards. I mean, Alliance points, Televar, like, yeah, that stuff's all hunky-dory. But also, gold, transmute crystals, that stuff's pretty fantabulous too. And so, what is rewards tier 1? I actually never played Toontown. I had a friend that played it, but I never actually played it directly. I was at his house when he was playing it, so I've seen it. I know what it looks like. So, this is your end of campaign rewards tier, right? You can see here, end of campaign rewards tier, and then you can see all this other information that's irrelevant. All you need to do is get as many characters to rewards tier 1. It'll take you about 25,000 alliance points, which is nothing right now. And if you do that, what you will get is transmute crystals, gold, and free other random stuff that you can quick sell. How's it going, Cadhem? Love the videos. Thanks for all your work. Well, thanks for stopping by. Another fun fact that I didn't actually know is that you actually get bonus alliance points. So if you go to a campaign and you start earning alliance points where cumulatively first place has more points than second and third place combined, you actually get, I think, as much as 4 times alliance points for doing stuff, like a 4 times multiplier. So anytime you take like so if you were to go to Quagmire, let's say you're not even doing it, for the memes or whatever, You're not going there for the train. Anytime you take a resource, you're getting like 7.5 thousand alliance points, which is already between a third and a quarter of the way there. You take 3 or 4 resources on a given character, and you're going to hit rewards tier 1. Unfortunately, I believe rewards tier 1 only gives you 25 alliance points when the campaign ends. Usually it's 50, but because these are all special 7-day campaigns, I think you only get 25. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. But again, if you find campaigns where your alliance is getting shafted, like this one, you can then use that to gain bonus alliance points. And then obviously too, like you can take all your characters through here, as long as they're on a blue or a yellow, you're going to get that alliance point bonus. And in turn, the alliance point bonus will also give you faster rewards tier as you go. Now, should you get to rewards tier 2 or 3, it used to be really nice to get to rewards tier 2 and 3 because it would give you like a shit ton of jewelry. The problem is deconstructing jewelry is not what it used to be, unfortunately. Ever since the jewelry rework, jewelry has kind of plummeted and fallen off when it comes to that. So I would say you don't necessarily need to worry about getting to a higher rewards tier than just 1. But it's just something to keep in mind. There's no negative to doing it. It's just not going... A lot of people think it's like exponential. Like, oh, well, if Jake says to get to rewards tier 1, what if I got to like rewards tier 3 on everybody? I'd be like, well, you can certainly do that, but really your benefit is going to be to get to rewards tier 1 on 5 characters is better than rewards tier 3 on 4 characters. Just to kind of put it in perspective. So that's conceptually what I wanted to say about the Cyrodiil rewards. I was also curious if any of you guys had any theories as to what Q4 is going to be for this year. I think it's either going to be a dueling arena or some sort of free-for-all mode. But I'm curious as to what you guys think is going to happen. And I'll tell you why I think that too. So, I'm always trying to ask probing questions to the developers. Sorry if you're watching this, Cinemax. And I just want to, toot my own horn a little bit too. I've actually been pretty good at calling certain things. Like, I was able to predict the Arcanist and the Arcanist class. Like, that was a pretty baller prediction. I was able to predict what was going to be added in High Isle. I thought that was a pretty baller prediction. And I was able to kind of utilize a lot of different clues. And for 2025, the clue that I have is that the developer said that it's going to be Lush. But I've been trying to figure out what Q4 is, obviously, since last year. Because during the last year in-person event in Vegas, I had asked the developers, like, okay, so you're adding essentially an infinite game mode for Q4. That's an infinite PvE game mode, right? Are you then going to look at utilizing Q4 of next year to create a new PvP system, since you want to utilize Q4 as a new system update in the next coming years, as opposed to what used to be like a new zone or whatever? And they had said like it would make a lot of sense for us to do a PvE one this year and a PvP one next year, kind of like wink wink. And so I kind of figured that Q4 would be a PvP update. The question just becomes like, what is it? And that's where it becomes tricky, because so here are all the thoughts that I have so far. I think that Battlegrounds are fun, but I don't think the majority of the player base enjoys them in the same sense. So I don't think it's going to be like a new Battlegrounds game modes or a rework to Battlegrounds, unless it's a complete overhaul. Because when they were doing testing, like allowing you to pick, like if you wanted to do deathmatch versus flag games and stuff, they basically found that people like were just not doing Battlegrounds when that was happening. So they changed it, and now they've been adding Battlegrounds weekends because they've been testing to see how popular Battlegrounds will be if they give you like a boost. You might remember those like boosted alliance points weekends. I think there's one coming up in like a week or two. So there's that. The other thing, too, that was asked of them is they were looking into... so there was a bug that basically when you were dueling somebody, your companion would, like, basically interact in that fight. And one of the comments that the developers made was kind of interesting, that they had actually been experimenting with 2v2 fights. And I thought that's weird because you don't really, there's no game mode that really has any sort of 2v2ing involved. So I was like, why are they testing out 2v2 game mode? So then my mind went to, well, it could be a dueling arena. What if instead of, because we have the the Imperial City arenas over here. Yeah, we have the arena district, but it's not really an arena in the traditional sense. And they could certainly make a new game mode, around this. But there was also an event that happened in Amsterdam where we were talking about it. And originally, he gave all this information, said like Q4 was going to be a PvP update, and then he said that Cyrodiil is going to be the ground basis for it, but it is not a Cyrodiil rework. So what the hell does that mean? And I don't know if that was a misstatement, because later in the day it seemed like it was kind of like, well, that might not really be true. So I don't know. But what I think, putting all the pieces together, and there's been some people that, I don't know if I can cause it to spawn, there's some people that have speculated too that there's clues in the login screens. And I just want to point out that some people who think that this is conspiracy theorists, this is like 100% something the developers would do. They have hundreds of times put in things like voice cues through dolmens as cues as to where we might be. Not only cues, they put in like just straight up clues as to where we'll go, for certain chapter updates. So I'm curious if I can get the specific artwork to spawn. See if it can go. But basically what it is, because I don't know, we're not going to be lucky enough to get it. Maybe I'll get it on the load-in screen. Basically, though, what it is it's the Three Banners War people surrounded by the armies on the side. And it was a new piece of artwork, and people were implying that that could mean that it's some sort of either free-for-all game mode, some sort of open land-like area. I could see them certainly dipping their toes in that. Jake, with the current New Balances, I'm thinking of grinding Spriggans. What are your thoughts? Well, Travis, I don't know if I wouldn't grind Spriggans just because of, unfortunately, certain zones are over-farmed. Spriggans is one of them because it exists in Bankarai. And because of how many people farm this world boss trio, just because it's easy, and anytime boxes drop from world bosses, this zone just gets farmed into oblivion. But what do you guys think Q4 is going to be? The other thing too is Imperial City is not super popular, at least to where it should be. Like, how often do you guys see the Imperial City as being full? But the thing I dislike about the Imperial City is it feels very congested. I'm curious if they did make a free for all area, if they would do something, similar sized, but with less stupid NPCs that'll just whack you anytime you try to open a door. But what do you guys think it will be? Because clearly Cyrodiil is the most popular game mode. So it could just be a straight up change to Cyrodiil. The question would be and I think that, Cyrodiil's existed in the same format, except for minor changes like the bridges and the gates, were new. Valendrone was added. They added the no proc campaigns and all sorts of other random experiments. But besides that, they've not really done anything with it that's been any sort of major overhauls. So what do you guys think they're going to do? What's going to be the biggest PvP update since Vardenfell? Vardenfell, right? I think Vardenfell added, correct me if I'm wrong, Vardenfell added Battlegrounds. Hoping for a PvP opt-in for Overland, would be happy with a new BG map. That would be pretty insane. Imagine they added for a PvP opt-in, just as you walk around. That would be huge. I don't know if scale-wise they're going to be able to do something like that, because that would be big. But imagine a zone imagine a brand new zone where there's something like that I could see. That's what I mean. I hope that they do something creative, you know, because I think a lot of people were let down by Q3. Now, to be fair, like when I was streaming my Q3 reactions, I was a bit let down, but then I went back and looked at last year's Q3 because Q3 is just like it's supposed to just be like the update, you know, like oh, you know, this is like when we fix all these random bugs that are annoying. And I looked at what they did last year, and they didn't do really anything last year that was even worth a live stream. At least this year, we're getting like some cool new features. I think the Infinite Archive stuff is the most exciting, but I think the housing update is certainly fine too. What's the best way to get a training set for a new character? Well, if you can make one for yourself, that's certainly the best one. But you can always just buy a training set. The nice thing too is if you buy like training sets and you build it correctly, you really don't have to worry about updating it. So for example, I really like the Twiceborn set for training gear. So Heartland, Twiceborn. Heartland allows you to get the double effect from a weapon enchant or a weapon effect, so you can get double training from your trait. And then Twiceborn is really good because Twiceborn basically gives you access to 2 Mundus Stones. Now, 2 Mundus Stones might seem like pretty worthless, and if you're like CP 160, the Twiceborn set's not going to be super good. But if you're level 10, you know, as you level up, your sets are going to become, you know, worse and worse because you're leveling up and you're not increasing your gear level. But the 5-piece effect of always getting 2 Mundus Stones will always be the same. So you'll get the nice effect from a secondary Mundus Stone. And the Mundus Stone effects are actually pretty good. You can increase your magicka, and then you can increase your spell damage. You can even give yourself a movement speed increase and, you know, damage. You can give yourself all these different things, and it will help you because you don't have to feel as needed to update them consistently. You guys are given a lot of stuff. All right, what is it? Oh, wait, I answered that one. I'm hoping they do a big PvP update, but I'd be very surprised if they did. The housing tour is literally just house tours. To be fair, like Q3 of last year, I'm trying to think even what the most notable thing that they fixed was. I can't even think of it. They made something stackable. Oh no, I think was it the one that you could fillet your fish? I think that was the biggest change. So a new Infinite Archive game mode, as well as, you know, housing tours, is still better than last year. And Q4 was still Infinite Archive, which was a pretty big, beefy system. But I don't, you know, I understand your concern. Trust me. A smaller, more condensed Cyrodiil, maybe like a couple of keeps you're not running over the map, less lag. My thoughts. That's true too. The only thing that I don't think that they will do, because I've asked the developers what their thoughts on Destiny were. This is how I ask questions, by the way. Sometimes, like, if you ask somebody to disclose something, they're not going to do it. This is where I'm a, you know, professional investigator. I ask, you know, hard-hitting questions. Like, what did you guys think about Destiny vaulting certain content? You know, trying to see, you know, if they're ever going to, like, fully change or remove any of their previous systems, you know, trying to get that intel. And they said that basically that they can't believe that Destiny did that and that they had no intentions to ever make any of their base game content non-playable or remove any DLCs or take away any game modes. So, because of that answer, I don't think that they're ever going to like remove Cyrodiil or change it in a way where it loses its previous previous kind of feel. Like, I feel like they may update it, but they won't change it to where it doesn't feel like it itself. Did Q3 of last year change the no CP campaigns? I actually don't remember if it did. Medium scale PvP would be cool. 12v12 v12 would have been nice if they were specifically highlighting that the Q3 housing lead is the same guy who made EHT, and he's getting to put his add-on in the base game. Oh, is that the, I don't know, say, is EHT the housing tour thing that people have on PC? Quick question, Frost Staff Backbar PvP preferred trait and enchant. I would say that defending probably. What do I have? I think defending. Yeah, defending. Just a generic answer, you know. My back bar is literally meant to keep me alive. You can see every every skill on here is meant to keep me alive. I will tell you though that there are some problems with this, like especially if you're playing in a very laggy PvP, because essentially the front bar is all the damage and the back bar is all the defense. And that could be great because you can slot things in, like getting yourself minor protection just by having this ultimate on your back bar. The problem is that with PvP being a little laggy, bar swapping can be a little finicky. So I could be trying to apply a shield, accidentally bar swap or not fully bar swap, and then use flame clench. I also don't know if I like flame clench. It's definitely on the fritz of being removed, but we'll see. Oh shoot. Swifty's saying, gotcha, I'll see if I can find it. Then he traded. So what was Swifty's former comment? Oh, the best way to get training gear. Yeah, I would request people to make it for you. If you play on Xbox, I can make you level 10 training gear. Infused weapon is best. Defending is second best if you need more damage. That's true too. Infused is another good one to go with. It just kind of depends on what you like your back bar for. Infused is a really good answer also. Essential housing tools, what it was called. Yeah. Anytime. So that's where those are like my thoughts for the PvP update. I wish I knew more. Like I wish I was able to come with like a formal prediction. I do think I lean towards them doing some sort. I actually lean toward a couple things, right? I think one of the things that they're going to do, regardless of any of the PvP updates, regardless of if it's new zone, a PvP, new Cyrodiil 2.0, whatever, I think that they're going to add more PvP achievements, because I think that they've kind of noted that there's a problem with PvP achievements, because like I'm not good at PvP to where like there's I'm probably in the top 20 to 30%, right? I have almost every PvP achievement in the game, and I have all of the hard ones that like, Emperor, Valendrone, Quad Kill, all of the difficult ones, and I'm not even that good. Like think about that for a moment. If you were like in the top 20 to 30% best PvE players, which I would probably put myself in, I've completed, decent amount of hard mode trials, but I've not done any no death, trials by any means. I've done some for dungeons, but no trial ones. The amount of achievement difference there is between PvP content and PvE content is wild. I think part of that too, you just have to equate to the fact that, I think the community does enjoy PvE content more. It's an RPG, obviously. I mean, look at other games like Diablo 4. There's like 1% of Diablo 4 is PvP, 99% is PvE. So I don't think that necessarily means you have to have like a 50-50 split. But if you're a PvP player, what are you trying to work towards? Like, what are you like? The leaderboards are very similar. Like, once you become the Emperor, you've done it. There's no real rewards for getting on the Battlegrounds leaderboard. Like, there's really nothing to work for. That's why I think that they should. I think honestly too, what would be cool is like an all-time like Battlegrounds leaderboard would be really cool. Maybe make it character specific, like, Jakeclips' character has earned a total of 1 million, Battlegrounds points in deathmatch. Something like that I feel like would be really cool. Thank you for the subscription, Lars Bond. I hope you guys don't hate me for turning on subscriber only mode. I just wanted to test it out. How's it going, Brian? So that's where I think that like PvP needs the biggest update, is it needs more achievements. I also think too that the leaderboards need fixed. And I think that a lot of these things are reasonable requests. Like I don't think anyone thinks to themselves, "Oh, the leaderboards are fair and balanced." Like, no, the leaderboards are not very good. Like realistically, like I don't even care enough to be on the leaderboards, just because it's like, what's the point? Like, what's the real point in being on the leaderboards for flag games, land grab, deathmatch, even ones like Tales of Tribute? It's like, what's the real reason to get on here? And in any other MMO, getting in the top 100 on a leaderboard that's played by millions of players would be like a massive achievement. And any time that I have gotten on the Battlegrounds leaderboard, I'm just like, oh, neat. Like, top 100 players that week for doing something, and the biggest response you're gonna give is, "Oh, neat." Like, that's where I think that the game needs the biggest change. But I also was thinking too, and I hope that I don't think that they're going to do this for this Q4, but I've always thought that ESO has needed more timed-based stuff. And what I mean by that is, imagine everybody that got put on the leaderboards for something got a time-based trophy, you know? Like, so let's say, remember the Tales of Tribute little trophies? Imagine there was like specific ones to specific quarters or years, and you guys could trade them and sell them. You could quick sell them for a lot of money. Let's say like you could either quick sell it or trade it. Let's say and you could make its quick sell value really high because you're only giving out 100 a week. And you could literally make it like 100,000 gold quick sell. Now you've got people competing for things like Bait Strand Hollow, Deathmatch, Land Grab, That would be really cool. Yeah, I'll get to your point here in a second, Bishop, because I'm just reading it. It's good. Miss Silent Death says, or maybe a battleground with a couple new maps and modes that allow champion points would be cool too. I think that the problem with champion points is that they don't want PvP modes to be very tanky. Like they want you to die a lot because they want it to feel fair. They kind of want it to be like an more even kind of mode. But I do think that them adding that mythic that basically changes your stats, the mythic, the torque that basically is like, hey, you don't get any, 5-piece or set bonuses, but you get these stats. I wonder if they would add a game mode where basically your only thing, like everybody's set to the same stats, but then they can bring in the skills on a specific character. I feel like something like that would be pretty neat. All-time leaderboards for BGs and Cryo, more things to earn from PvP, mount skins, etc., and some kind of seasonal battle pass like Fortnite or COD, as well as being able to prestige. I actually agree with that. I actually do think that ESO could do with a battle pass. I think that if I said that in a video, people would hang me from the rafters because people generally dislike battle passes. But like, the problem with ESO is, and this is the economic problem that it has right now, this very moment it has right now, the economy is not moving. Nobody is buying things because the same sets that were good 5 years ago are literally good right now. The sets that people are using in PvP, like when was let me look this up. When was Rallying Cry added to the game? Hang on. ESO Rallying Cry added. When was Rallying Cry added? I don't know when it was added, but people were talking about it from a few years ago. And Rallying Cry is one of the newer sets. Like if you think about sets like that are even older, like Pariah, Deadly, they've been out even longer, and they're still exceptionally good. Grinding gold and gems, 100 shy for the 2500 mount, and about 160 crates later, not one radiant mount. Woo. Do remember though, Brian, I believe next week they're doing another developers live stream, so you will be able to get an Osburo crate, which granted might not get you anything, but at least it might get you some more crown gems. You think they'll ever fix Battlegrounds chat so you're not talking to other players in other matches, but actually your team in your match? I don't know. I didn't know that was a problem, ironically. At Jakeclips, hi, I'm a little bit struggling here with ESO right now. I've been playing a Templar as my main, and now I want to try other classes, but I don't want to grind all the skill points lines. What do I do? Are you talking, when you say skill point lines, are you talking about like Mages Guild, Fighters Guild? Are you talking about like just generally leveling up another character? Yeah, chat is busted in Battlegrounds. Huh, I did not know that. Although I've never I've never been like, guys, we got, I've never been on the keyboard like, guys, we got to get it together. What are we doing here? Everybody on me. I've just been kind of going with the flow. But so for skill points, the easiest way to get skill points, and I have a whole video that breaks this down, is that every single public dungeon in the game has a skill point and a sky shard. And if you just do those, like, you can easily go in, get the skill point, get the sky shard, and go out. You don't need as many skill points as you would think. Like, look, let me look. I have 110 extra skill points on this character. I think that, he's got pretty much everything that he could ever need. And this is also a character that has every single crafted passive. You don't even need every single crafted passive on all of your characters. I think that it's fantastic if you want to level up some of them. For example, if you want to level up your metalworking, that way you can have multiple characters doing writs at a higher level. That's fantastic, but you don't have to do that. Now, there are some ones that are really annoying, like leveling up your Mage's Guild can be pretty annoying, but not everything is as bad. But what I would do is, it's like, if you're making a brand new character, always join the Fighter's Guild and the Mage's Guild immediately. Fighter's Guild will only give you XP for it if you're in it, and you get points every time you kill a Daedra. Or even if you're in, like, a battlegrounds and you kill a player who's a werewolf, you level up your Fighter's Guild. It actually gives you a decent chunk of XP for doing that. Things like the Psijic Order, you may or may not even need to use. The same with Mage's Guild, right? Like, right now, I'm using one Mage's Guild ability. Depending on the class you're playing, you might not use any. But what I really like to do whenever I make a new character is I give him just generically good sets. Like, I would actually give him the Twice-Born Heartland combination, and then instead of putting the training trait on Heartland, and I'm going to go to a house here so I can show you guys why I like these sets. What I like to do is just put on Nernhold for it, because I feel like that's just a really good good set, or good trait, excuse me. And then just level them up through Battlegrounds. You get so much XP and Alliance points right now for 10 to 50 Battlegrounds, just go kill people with them. And nicely, so instead of having to do quests, every time you level up your Alliance skill, you are also leveling up your Alliance, or every time when you're leveling your skill line, what I mean by that is this thing in the bottom right-hand corner, every time you level this up by gaining Alliance points, you gain a skill point. Which means that if you level up through killing people, you also get quite a few skill points. Oh my gosh. That is interesting. I forget where it is. Where's Twiceborn? Here it is. Alright. Twiceborn, you can have 2 Munda Stones active at the same time. This is just great. It also gives you health, stam, mag, which is also nice because low, especially if you're using even a mag character or stam character, you're probably going to use some of, like, your stamina, definitely as a magic character, because you need to block and roll dodge. And then if you're a stamina character, sometimes your heals require magicka, especially low levels. So this is just great to level up with, and I can highly suggest it. I don't know where the other one is. Oh, here it is. Heartland Conquer. Increase the effectiveness of your weapon trait by 100%. I do think it's funny that they have to specify this doesn't affect Ornate. Like, you can't make a whole bunch of these and then try to sell them or do anything weird. But what's nice about this is that you can literally combine this with Nernhold and then cause a bunch of extra damage. Let's just say, hypothetically, I was like, I'm going to make, this. You could, I don't think I even have it. Do I have Nerd Cruxes? Sharpen's decent, too. I don't even see it. But let's just say, like, even Sharpened. Increase your physical and spell penetration. Now you're going to have double the penetration. You will just be penetrating people like crazy. Yeah, you can pick different traits, and then it's going to have double the effect. Sharpen's a really good one also to have. And then the nice thing, too, is the 2, 3, and 4 weapon and spell, magicka, stamina, so it's also pretty good across all of the other pieces. it because I don't? Oh, it's because I don't have one. I'm like, where are Nern Cruxes? I'm like, what the fuck? But then too, like this one increased the damage of this weapon by 11%. Get that to 15% by golding this out, and then that turns into 30%. Increase the damage of your weapon by that. That's a lot. You'd be doing a good amount of damage with something like that. So that's what I would use for 10 to 50 battlegrounds. And this is the beautiful thing too, is if you make it at different intervals, like if you do 10, 20, 30, 40, you only have to make a few of them. Some people will suggest that you make them like this. So what people generally suggest that you do is so to help save on materials, if you make your first set at level 16, you're using only 4 steel ingots. If you make your next one at level 26, you're only using 5 orc ores. At 36, you're only using 6 dwarven ingots. 46, you're only using 70. And what's nice is that's a good way to save resources. Obviously, you can start out level 10. But what's nice is that if you do it like this, you save quite a bit on resources. Because if you do it to where you make it intervals of 10, you can see you're using more of each resource. And honestly, as long as you're close to your original weapon and armor level, like if you're level 30 and level 26 gear, that's totally fine. And kind of so on and so on. And the only reason for that is those resources are usually actually more expensive because the people, I don't know why I keep like leaving and coming back to it. I'm like, oh, wait. Like, oh, let me come back to that. So like these resources from like these low levels are not as farmed and put on the market. Like you can see for CP10, I've got 77 of calcium axes. And I guarantee you that I'm rarely ever using these. So this is probably all that I've ever acquired ever. And so because of that, it's important to kind of reserve these resources if you can. Because they are going to be more expensive. And there's nothing worse than wanting to make a new character and having to pay a lot. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to level up a character, you want to do it pretty affordably. But the beautiful thing is that if you build them like this, you can essentially use them across all of your characters. That's the beautiful thing. Another thing that I would do, so I used to level up all my characters in Battlegrounds doing that exact same method. But this is what I would do, is I would intentionally make them all stam characters because you're going to have to, you're going to have to glyph them, and you don't want to use triglyphs for all of them because that would be painful. So what I would do is I was like, I'll make them all stam characters, and then once you get to level 50, you get a free respec anyway. Then you can just turn them into mag characters. You can do it alternatively, too. You can make them all Magicka characters, and then if, you want to make them a stam character later, go ahead. I know Travis, he may or may not be in the chat, but he made all of his characters. He leveled them all up as Nightblades just because he thought Stam Nightblades, easiest way to level up using this kind of same method. Level them up in Battlegrounds, get a bunch of XP, and then boom, because some people level up characters for different reasons. He just needed the skill points to essentially have like backup crafters for doing daily writs. And because of that, that was kind of his reason for using the same class. Some people use sorcerers, some people use all sorts of different things. Some people intentionally make all their characters Imperials because Imperials gain extra gold as well as alliance points. So food for thought. I like to use characters that I think I'm going to use in the future without having to like tweak them. Like I don't want to ever be that person that's like, oh, I need to use a race change token for this person or anything like that, just because I don't know, like I don't want to set myself up for needing to do that, but there are some people that that they will. It just depends again, like what you plan to use your character for. What are these other campaigns looking like? Oh my gosh, what is going on in Blackreach? I'm gonna check out these ones here. I'm just curious if we have we've got Bruma. And I realize now that chat has been stalled. So let me manually read all your chats because they've not been popping up. Gosh dang it. All right. It's voice chat. I can deathmatch and hear people playing Relic. Like what? I use the AP Lite app. Fantastic. Almost Current 2 shows all Sky Sergeant surveys. I do have that app. It's actually really good. Or training for leveling up fast helps. That is true. Like if you're planning to do like overland content, use training traits. Um, Imperial Cities gives lots of XP. Nine Mules, lots of moving to everything to my main character. It's a great way to save inventory space. I keep training gear various levels to level up my ult tunes, lifesaver. Exactly. The other thing too is like there's those boxes you can put in your house. I literally store my sets there. Ooh, I don't look like we're doing too good here. I open my put the items in there where they're not on the character. That way I know where it is. Because obviously, I'm sure if you guys organize stuff like I do in ESO, things just get lost, and it's a pretty scary place when you're like, where's that? I'm also stubborn. Like for some reason, I think I only have one Balorg's shoulder. Like I've just never reconstructed a second one. So I just keep moving it between all my characters, and I forget which one it's on because I like don't use it very often. So I'm like, where is it? Shoot, which one did I just go into? I think I went into Evergloom. Sorry about that. I didn't realize chat had frozen. Ooh, not looking good. All right. Wait. Sorry, my chat is frozen here on the right side, so I gotta like give me a second to refresh this. Cause I can see what you guys put below, but I can't read it because like it's pushed off screen. If you do Mage's Guild quests, it takes you to do a boss in a public dungeon and gives a skill point, and the dungeons give good XP, and Spellscar and Craglorn gives good XP. Great points. What is my opinion on clickbait titles regarding ESO? For example, 8 Puppies' latest videos claiming Arc won't be meta anymore with a 1.2k or 1 to 2k DPS in total drop on PTS. I don't. It's hard because I don't do a lot of PVE content, so I don't know how much a 1 to 2k drop really impacts if it's the best or not. I haven't seen the video. I will say it can be a struggle sometimes. So I've talked to you guys about this, from the heart, where I try to fairly title everything, but there's even like when I make a YouTube video. So say an item, for example, is worth 100 million on PC and 20 million on console. What do I put in the title? 100 million, 20 million? Do I split the difference? What do I do? And it can become difficult because you don't want people who are discouraged on PC to see a title and go, oh, well, it's only worth 20 million because that's how much it's worth on console. 20 million is worth, a lot less. And it becomes tricky. And then it's like I was I was having this conversation with Paradox. Like I have a PC account, so do I not have the right to clickbait people instead? With using that, it just becomes tricky to try to title things because I always lean towards I want people to have the information, even if it's a bit on the clickbaity side. But I also don't think that my titles are super clickbaity because in the situation where there was that really valuable item that sold for 6 million, I think the title literally was this item sold for 6 million gold on PC. So it was like that was the way that I did it to where I felt that it wasn't clickbaity because it was literally like, okay, everybody reading this now knows that it's worth this much on PC and it's fairly titled. But I think it is kind of difficult because on one end, as a content creator, you want people to watch your information and you want them to have the information. But then on another end, you don't want people to feel misguided based on your information. It wasn't meta. I've never been hit with it in PvP once in 5 hours a night. Sorry, Ryan, I got distracted. Is that about the Arcanist? It basically made Arcanist top DD on 11 bosses instead of 16 on the trial bosses, that is, and being in the top 1 most is still pretty meta according to me. I think that's fair. Um, it's difficult. I don't want to pretend to be an expert at this type of stuff. I know I make YouTube videos, but I don't. I mean, it's not my real job. Like it's more of like a hobby. So it's hard for me to give you a professional opinion. But my general thoughts are is I fall in this balance of trying to. I want people to have the information. Like when I did the Crown Mimics video, I feel sometimes a little bad. I feel like I could have been a little more like, this is essential for you guys to know this, because the video didn't get a lot of views. So I was like, what if I titled it like Secret Gold Method using, blah, 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 or, something like that. Because a lot of you guys that watched it were like, wow, this is very helpful. So that's the struggle that we go through. I promise I'm not just giving like a diplomatic answer to be diplomatic. I promise these are my real thoughts. Man, especially if you're trying to like give information on like how valuable an item is. Whew. The set he was talking about was Null Arc, I believe. Yeah, I mean, like, if something is still the best, 11 out of 16. I mean, that's still pretty, up there. You know what I mean? Like, that's a pretty high on the list, eh? But I don't do PvE content as much, so it's harder for me to kind of weigh in the same capacity um, as much. I prefer PvP. I just wish I was better at it. What I really wish is that when I farmed the Infinite Archive, that they gave me leads for the Torque, because I really wanted to make a sorcerer build with it, and I farmed for like a whole day, and I didn't even get one lead. If the game just gave me one lead, I would have been like, there's hope. But they didn't give me a single lead for that stupid Torque. And I want it so bad for my sorcerer. Especially if we're getting a PvP update in Q4. Like, I want to have all the tools. Like, I farmed freaking veteran what's it called? What's that fucking Dragon Star Arena. Dragon Star Arena is like the longest experience of your life on any difficulty. Normal, veteran. It is so slow. It's like minimum 40 minutes, even if you're speed running it, it feels like. And that's, without all the goofy mechanics on veteran, especially in the final fight. I farmed all of the PvP sets that could possibly be used from there. Farm Vatestrand. Vatestrand is another like the fastest Vatestrand I could probably ever do is 45 minutes, And I have died in so many goofy ways in Vatestrand, it's not even funny. Like one time I was trying to grapple and I double clicked A and I jumped off the side. And I left the dungeon. I was like, I need a break. like I hate that place so much. So sometimes it's a bit goofy when it's like, oh, this amazing thing that's going to be used for PvP, we're going to put it in a goofy place for you to farm. Yeah, the guy in Dragonstar talks 20 minutes. You just have to wait. I wish that there was like a way you could speed up dungeons and things. Like there was like like a hard mode flag, but like instead it just like cut all the dialogue out and it was just like boom, 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 boom. What I really wish ESO had was just like a boss run mode. I think Infinite Archive, like they could just do a straight boss mode run thing where it's like boss fight, boss fight, boss fight, boss fight, That would be really cool, I feel. I'm Madonna stuck in my head from the freaking Deadpool movie. What do you get rewards of the worthy for? I feel like we didn't really do anything to get a rewards of the worthy box. I didn't feel like I was worthy. Call your name. Oh, Battlefield acrobatics. Every time I would ever be on the leaderboard, the game would be like, Here's your battlefield acrobatics set. And I'd be like, oh, you spoil me. Thank you. Fill up our inventory. Fill out the final few trader spots we have. Hopefully we get a dagger, or at least one of the better pieces. Thankfully, the stuff that we got earlier was at least the right trait. Also, this is the greatest tip that I could ever give to you. Q the Imperial City, and it will allow you to leave Cyrodiil without having to worry about walking all the way back to any of the points. And the nice thing is, once you're in the Imperial City, you literally can just hop, skip to this door right here, and you're out. Boom. You're out of the Imperial City. Now we are back to Deshaun. Out of curiosity, if you guys could just give me, I was going to say a 1 or a 2, but sometimes I feel like it's just as easy to type PvP or PvE. Do you prefer PvP or PvE? Just type 1. You don't have to, if you feel free to give me a reason, but just put in chat PvP or PvE. You can say both too if you want. I don't want to feel like you have to pick one or the other. But I'm curious, like, what's the split of people who really like one versus the other? I'm also doing that thing that I hate when you people, instead of going to a bank, I just list the item all up here. I haven't opened them yet. I'm so stupid. How many achievement points do I have in total? 34,910. Interesting. We have, okay, we're leaning towards PvE. All right. I've got more PvP coming, so I think it's 3-2 PvP, PvE. I hate competitive people, which is ironic. And oh, now it's fully split. I totally hear you, Pauline, but ironically, people who play PvP will make the exact same argument about PvE, which I've always found like so weird. If I could get into Cyrodiil consistently, PvP for sure. Okay. I notice how nobody has said both. Not to throw shade at any of you. I just think it's interesting that people generally always prefer one or the other. But I think that's the nature of RPG. Some people prefer different aspects of it. PvP, only PvP during Mayhem, PvE, both it gets boring doing one exclusively. I do like that answer. And I actually agree with that one probably the most. Like, if you do it a lot, the problem with PvP is you really hit the end. Like, sometimes I just feel like there's nothing to accomplish in PvP. Like, I'm like, what else is there to do? Like, once you become the Emperor once, it's like, do you just do it again? I do like, oh, deadly dagger on the, oh, our inventory's full. That's awkward. Well, we know we got the juice. PvE just because there's more earnable stuff. I think that's a very reasonable answer. But PvP is incredibly fun at points, to be fair. Yeah, I think that's a great answer. I do like your name, by the way. With Zeech. I was one of the best 40k Gods of Chaos, Lords of Chaos. I forget what they're called. I'm decent at the lore of 40k, but I'm not fully up there. Oh my gosh, I guess we'll just sell some soul gems and need an extra spot. That's true. Tales of Tribute. That's a PvP game mode. So for everybody saying that PvP hasn't gotten an update in Vardenfell since Vardenfell, what's Tales of Tribute? What is it? You know, tell me I'm wrong that Tales of Tribute is not a PvP game mode. It's got ranked competitive and it's got normal competitive. And most people don't have most Tales of Tribute achievements. So in theory, it's actually, I think, more rare to be good at Tales of Tribute than to be the Emperor. Just throwing that out there. You guys can agree to disagree. That's okay. I actually think I have a decent amount of the achievements for Tales of Tribute. But yeah, I definitely don't have all of them. Hey, you know, Sparks, I play Marvel Snap, and that's exclusively a PV, like player versus player game. I mean, card games are PvP. You know, technically, you know, you're playing. I mean, there are like NPCs you can play against, but there's a you know, there's the ranked competitive that's only player versus player. I do wish that Tales of Tribute hit a little harder. You know, like I wish it was a little bit better. Like conceptually, I like how they balanced it because I was afraid that it was going to be like some PVE, yeah, because you play both. I was afraid that it would become some like pay to win deck builder, and I was kind of worried about that. So like, the dagger. Oh, oh, 3 daggers, baby. Oh my God, we are flowing in juice right now. This is incredible. I think I have those for Tales of Tribute. What achievements I do and don't have is so lopsided. Like, there are certain things that like I have some of the dumbest achievements for, and then there's other ones that I've just completely ignored. Again, do I have all the ones for quests? Look at that. The Infinite Archive, I'm like down here. I'm like so low. Just because I'm like, I hate Infinite Archive. Officer in a guild redo Cyrodiil on Wednesdays in Imperial City on Saturday to help new players dip their toes into PvP, redo different factions on different weeks. So that's really nice. I think that, you know, I think what's weird is to me, PvP is exceptionally easier than PvP. Actually, so similar question. What which do you think is easier? Endgame PvP or endgame PvE? Like if you had to pick, right? Whiches do you think is harder? And I will tell you straight up that I think endgame PvE is exceptionally harder. Because I think that the end game, until they add new end game modes or end game rewards, like you don't need to be in the top 10% of PvP players to get Emperor, to get the Valendrode achievement, to get the quad kill achievement, to get, you know, max out on the leaderboards. You don't need to be the best. I don't hate duos, but when I farm duos with my friends, I like to take a lot of breaks. And when you're trying to lead farm, it's pretty annoying, so I just do it with my companion. And to be fair, like if you're trying to just get the leads, you just reset the first arc over and over and over and over and over again, which is probably not the best way to do it because it just feels very boring and repetitive when you do it like that. So I would not suggest it. Why do I keep hitting bid? But which? Oh my god, I got 4 daggers. I'm curious what these are listed for. I have heard that too for doing the secrets. You just need to not have a job. That's the other thing too is like in PvP, like getting the Emperor just requires you to be present. Like you don't have to be the one laying down the law. You could be a pacifist run as an Emperor. I thought about doing that as like a streaming challenge. Like I make a PvP healer and I try to become the Emperor while getting 0 kills. Um, like I thought about that as an idea, but I also don't know if people would like an idea like that because it could become pretty boring to watch. Because I would be totally reliant on other people being competent, and I don't like the idea of being, you know, um, stuff like that. Sparks, aren't you a mod for Trench's news channel? What's Trench's news channel? Everyone is scared to die in PvP. If I tell them don't worry about dying, you will die. Just have fun is probably the best advice for a new PvP player. It's true. Endgame PvP is harder because you can't solo. Personally, I prefer PvP. Been addicted to Battlegrounds since level 10. I do. I mean, like, if you guys compare the difference between like doing a God Slayer run versus getting an Emperor, it just doesn't compare. You know, that's where I think that PvP needs more. You know, what's Trench's news channel? I'm curious. Sorry, just gonna. I'm curious what it is. Is it the guy who has hashtag trenches, hood, urban city news drill expert in and out of the fields? In and out of the field 6215? Is that it? I'm trying to price check these deadly daggers, but nobody's listing them. Yeah, I was just seeing that he's got 150k sub. I think he's at 154. We don't have quite as big an audience on the Elder Scrolls network, unfortunately. Is there 0 deadly daggers listed in the entirety of Mournhold? What is that? Not a single deadly dagger is listed right now? Usually if it's sharpened 300 or 100 to 300, well, I guess I like having at least a frame of reference. Did we not get a single? Oh, we did get a sharpened. All right. We're going to go buck wild and just go 300k. YOLO. Charge. I might just do 150. Fused. We'll do 200. I should have spread those out into other traders. I don't know why I listed them all in one. That was goofy of me. Everyone's gonna have, multiple hobbies too. I used to watch this YouTuber that did lore videos for 40k, and he's now gained more subscribers than I have. Like, I started watching him when he had like 10,000. Now he's got 50,000. I'm like, damn, he's beating me. To be fair though, like, different types of content has different like max capacities for like how many viewers you can get, really. That's the funny thing about Deadly Strike, and I always tell people this. I'm like, it is the best, but it can become flooded. Like, I play a lot of FIFA, right? And obviously, if people flood the market with specific players and stuff, like, it can, ruin the economy for it. So you just always have to, like, you just have to look, right? Like, at the beginning, for, starting out the stream, I looked. I was like, there's not a lot of Deadly Strike listed. Let's go list some up. It's the best of the best, but, it can easily become flooded just because it is so popular. But nobody's flooding it right now, so I mean, I'll do it. I'll flood it. Been running group BGs in a social guild on NA, and it brings a lot of players in. We keep it chill, positive, encourage people to have fun, or just to have fun while we carry them. That's fair. Oh, have you watched lore videos and Elder Scrolls Detective videos by Camelworks? Yes, I have. I'm actually kind of jealous. I'm like, I want to do more ESO lore videos. I just don't think I have the best style for it. But with this video, I wish you guys could see it, but it's copyrighted right now. Where's the bank? Where am I going? It's very different than my normal style of video, so I'm very curious to see what you guys think whenever the copyright claim is released. I have probably affected the trade economy, but I always try to do it in a way like I never want it to seem like I am giving bad advice or manipulating the economy, because in theory, right, let's say I make a set build video and I made the one to become a master thief, got some thousands of views, right? That's going to cause people to go out and buy that specific item. I could have easily front grinded a whole bunch of them and then sold them on the market. But I feel like even doing that is scummy. I know obviously it's not like real life currency, and people who did it, would just be like hustlers or whatever, but like it just feels scummy to do stuff like that, especially because I literally gave away. You guys will probably remember I used to have like lots of gold. I gave away all of it just to grind back essentially from zero. but the problem with I explain things like very matter of factly, so I don't know how that would translate to lore videos, like I explain things, differently than most people. That's where I'm like, I don't know how well stuff like that would do. I might do more lore videos. The problem is there's just so much Elder Scrolls content to do. But I'm hoping that you guys really like this challenge video that I did, because I think that it's actually edited really well. Like I literally spent, I think, 10 hours editing it, which is a long time. That does include, though, the time that it took to download all of the VODs. So YouTube will let you download your own videos to your hard drive. But man, if you've ever had to download a 6-hour HD video from YouTube, it's not fast. It took so long. The other awkward thing too is I had to teach myself how to do certain things, so I also had to, go in time for that. Because that's the real disadvantage I've had since starting YouTube, is I was never like a computer science person or anything like that. I was always like the social work person, social services person. Like I was just the one that had like crazy stories and shit, and just generally wanted to kind of like be productive. Yeah, I mean, I think I could do like a pre-recorded YouTube video, but like I don't know. Like my thing is that I have so many videos that I want to do. I want to lean more into challenge type content. Like I am about to go crazy with the beating ESO without attacking challenge, just because I think that that's going to be like a really good concept, and I just want to lean into stuff like that, because I think that, especially because there's so many good lore videos already on the Elder Scrolls universe. Like when I started YouTube for what I'm doing now, I would argue, and this might be controversial, please don't clip me up if you're a content creator, I don't think there was that good of content regarding in-game gold, trading. I think that people were like overlooking certain things just because they knew it wouldn't get a lot of views. And I would do it because I'm like, I don't care if this only gets a few thousand views. Like, I think that people should know how to do this. And there are quite a few creators that, because the algorithm doesn't like when your own audience doesn't watch all of your videos. And, I still will make videos that I know only a portion of you guys will like, because then I'll make a video that another portion of you will like. I'm not trying to appease everyone in one video and then post one single weekly video that's hyper edited. I want to answer as many questions as possible across every single facet of the game, even if even if only 20% of you are like asking that question. I've still answered a question that 20% of you had. That's why I like what I do, even though it's certainly not the best for the algorithm. It's not going to gain me, tons of, views and whatnot. Or we still do get a really good amount of ESO views, but not in the same sense where if I did, a hyper edited, weekly video. But then if I switch to that format too, like I wouldn't be able to answer as many questions that I have. Like we've got the Tuesday vendor, and then we've got the Friday vendor. So already I have to record 2 videos a week. And no matter how good both of those vendors are, eventually those videos are essentially worthless because nobody's going to go back in a year and rewatch those videos. So I've started to unlist those videos. That way it, doesn't get recommended to people, because I want people to be recommended new stuff. But that's how I got into what I'm doing now, is I was like noticing that there was a gap in certain things on YouTube for ESO. And because like the people who do the lore videos do such a good job, I don't know if I could really step into something like that. And I'm like, they do so good at it, like I don't know if I could compete too. What's actually crazy is I've actually watched so many Warhammer videos that I'm pretty sure I actually know more about Warhammer lore than I do about Elder Scrolls lore. And I don't actively play any Warhammer games. But this is my mindset, right? I'm going to give you a perfect example of how I am as a social worker, right? I have to go to some like horrific things. I've got to go to hospitals, prisons, jails, foster homes, people's homes, and I drive a lot. Literally on Friday of last week, I had to drive for 4 hours in total that day because I had to go see some people who lived in the middle of the wilderness, and their front door didn't even close, and they had so many flies in that home. I was just like, oh my god. But set that aside. When you're driving for 4 hours, you really got to find some stuff to listen to. Because I used to listen to music, but sometimes I feel like music just gets you so hyped up. So what I do now is that if it's a long drive, like anything over, I don't know, 20 minutes isn't long, but anything over 20 minutes, I'll listen to like lore video for Elder Scrolls, Warhammer, podcast, something like that. And then for the final couple minutes, so I get hyped, because, you got to get hyped, baby, walking into people's homes, or you might have to deal with something scary. That's when you listen to the music. Get yourself all pumped up. Like, I'm gonna find the drugs. I'm gonna find those drugs. I'm gonna talk to this person that's in prison. Because when I was like, I started doing this when I was like 21 years old, and then even for a while. I'm 27 now. So I've been doing it, for a while. When I first started, I was like, it's kind of scary going to some of these places, but now I'm just like, let them try. And thank you, Bishops, for saying that's why I sub, for making gold, making event videos. Very few channels make that kind of content. Jake, what are your thoughts on Infinite Archive? I was excited for it once I played it, and it quickly became mad for me. I just can't get into it. I feel the same way about Infinite Archive. I like the concept of Infinite Archive, but I think that it needs fine-tuned, and that's why I'm actually really glad that they are fine-tuning it. Yeah, because of all of these long drives I've been having to go do, I know so much Warhammer lore, it's not even funny. Ask me about the Battle of Rax. Ask me about the Falcadia. I know it all. It's all up here now. It's all in my head. Ask me about which Primarchs are missing versus dead. It's all in my brain. I know everything. What I really should do is start watching more Elder Scrolls videos. That way I can, know more information. I actually used to play Dark Tide. I feel like it gets a little boring. But Space Marine 2 is about to be crazy. I will be playing a lot of Space Marine 2. Is this stuff selling as I go? Look at this. We're selling stuff as we go. We only sold the Divine's trait once, but that's alright. So look at that. Deadly is literally selling on stream. And people will say, oh, well, it's actually best if you buy this stuff. Very few things annoy me when I make ESO content. But when people tell me something is better, it kind of drives me insane when it isn't. Because I'm like, I have years of testing for AP to gold. Your rationale and your reasoning is not better than mine. I'm sorry. But like I've done this for so long when it comes to currency conversions. This is the best way. I think it's a little difficult until stage 4 or 5. Should get harder as it goes, but jumps up quickly in difficulty. I think that's why so many don't play it. I did notice that. I don't know why. I don't know why they did it. Actually, if you really want a good Warhammer game, by the way, play Rogue Trader. That's a really good Warhammer game. It's kind of like XCOM though, but man, the RPG elements in that game are pretty fire. I think Infinite Archive could also do with a bit of a background change. Sometimes I feel like it's just kind of like, I don't know. Farming, it just kind of feels depressing sometimes. You're just like, oh, gotta start over again. What I think that they really need in game modes like that is they need to have it so, like, here are my thoughts. If you have a mode where people are farming it to usually get rewards like fragments, leads, and stuff, I feel like you should almost be able to activate like a hard mode scroll that makes it just like harder but more condensed, less waiting, less walking. It's just straight, combat. Like even I would take a boss mode run. I think that they could just do like a straight up just boss, 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 boss. You know. There's an achievement to find scripts at a mages guild. You're near one. Let's go take a peek, huh? I thought about achievement hunting in the Elder Scrolls Online because there's so many achievements that I've just not done. Like I tried to do every single dungeon and trial on both veteran and normal, but I still haven't even done all of them yet. Like I haven't even done Balsanar, and I haven't even done Sanity's Edge yet, just because I'm like, like, do I wanna? Because like realistically, if I don't plan to use any of the sets from there, I'm just doing it for a skill point, which I have 110 of. Like, so what would be what's the reason to use and farm all of these things? I am obviously a completionist because I've completed like all of the zones, like every single thing in them. So at some point I will go through and do them. What am I supposed to do to get this secret achievement? Do I like gotta go buy one? Where's this secret achievement, Linus? Other way, there's a scroll on the table. What other classes have I played? So controversially, so on beta I was a sorcerer, right? When I came to Xbox, my first ever character was actually a warden that I played like pretty significantly. I think I had a character I deleted. I don't know why I deleted him, but I wasn't really actively playing the game as much. I think I remade a new sorcerer, but I was like, I don't want, because I missed the import your character time frame, so I had to do that whole shebang over again. So my class that I had the most played time on is actually probably that warden, but I stopped playing him just because it felt very like, I don't know. I just didn't like the play pattern of the warden as much. I feel like Linus is trolling me. Linus, is there something on one of these tables? Are you screwing with me here? But I have played every single class in some capacity. The one that I probably dislike the most is probably the Necromancer, just because I feel like Necromancers are just so like, just not my forte. There's a scroll here. I feel like is this an inside joke? Am I wrong? Where the hell is this scroll? Not screwing with you. I don't. I believe you're not. I'm just like, what in the world? Like, uh, I still haven't finished the main base game storyline since the game had first launched on Xbox. It's one of those things too where it's like you don't really need to. Like, what's the real like? Oh, I gotta go beat the storyline. Like there's not a whole lot of reason to do so. I guess the soul magic is good now with the whole new scribing system. So you might want to do it, but like once you know what happens, you know what happens. Supposed to be in the hallway by the door on the circular table, but I can never find that one. Hallway by the door. Is that this one? Circular table. Wait, hallway by the door. Now let's go to the door. Alright, this is one of the doors. Is there a circular table over here? Might be on the other side. Through the double doors. Okay. What double doors? Is it... Do you mean like down here? This set of double doors? Oh, I thought I got it on this table. That's Portal to Ibea. Right there. You guys have to remember too, there's a stream delay. So it's down here, right? Oh my gosh. This is definitely something. Past the table. I need you guys to foresee where I'm. You guys are like 10, 15 seconds behind. I just need you to like predict where I'm going to go in 10 to 15 seconds to guide me. You said it was the circular table? But this is the only circular table that's down here. I still haven't found a class that I like. Templar is lovely, but Warden is what I'm playing right now. Yeah, I think those are good class options. It wasn't there. Maybe have I gotten it already? Is this a table it's supposed to be on? I'm not gonna move for like a whole minute. You're in the wrong part. You have to go through a set of doors. Oh, these all go outside though? Yeah, it goes to Mournhold. Excuse me. Other table. Are you sure? Linus is saying it's in another thing. So is it in this room or is it in another room? Another room. Alright, let me go up. I think these go outside though. Don't they? Don't these go outside? Oh, uh-oh, there might be an whole other. Oh my god. There could be so many more places that it could be. Oh. Oh my gosh. Now there's. I'm guessing this goes back inside. No, in a hallway in the front of the door by the square table is a circular table. I think I. So that's in the hallway in front of the door. I think it's this one. Alright. So we're walking in. It's in the north wing. I don't think they named these places though. That's not a good plan. We'll go back out and see. I'm like losing my mind. North wing. Well, that would have to be this way because this is north, right? Is there not an upstairs? I'm confused too, Cambridge. I'm just going with it at this point. Like I would Google it just to see where it is, but at this point I'm committed. You know, you guys are gonna get me to this place. Oh my god, it's right here. Look at that. What the fuck? Do I already have this one? Oh, no, I didn't have that one. Look at that. Hunter Snare, signature. Oh! I was about to lose my mind. And all of the Mages Guild have one of these? Is that how this works? Where's all the shit for scribing? Ink accumulator. I was getting dizzy watching. I still have to get a whole bunch of these bullshit things. Alright, so if you want this one, whichever one of you came in through a snowball at me, it's right here. You guys want a group invite? If you're on Xbox, come get this son of a bitch, because if you have your Twitch chat and YouTube chat trying to navigate you to it, you'll probably go physically insane. Especially because everybody plays with a delay. So they're like, it's left, it's right, it's left. So if you guys want it, just come over here. I'm looking to see which one of these things I have and don't have already. That's so much random bullshit to do here still. I did the quests. It took so long. Show off some professional teabagging after today's video. When you do, when you kill somebody, you hit them with the salty mode. Or, you know, what options we got? You get in with the shh. You go silently. You hit him with one of those. I still like the Glimmer Dust one the most. You just, you know, like the Salt Bay. Boom. I'll wait here for you, John. That way you can find it. Cause let me tell you, it was difficult. We got through it. I was losing hope. I actually thought you were screwing with me for a little bit, everybody. I won't be on. I'll be honest. I was like, they're making this up. This doesn't exist. That's so much random bullshit to do in this zone, huh? Yeah, get this. Get it. It's right here. I keep getting so many scripts from this, from all these rewards of the worthies. I just have to keep quick selling them. I feel like they could give you more gold than just freaking 3. I have so many random emotes unlocked. I probably have so many emotes I could use to troll on people. Where's the emotes? There it is. I have so many emotes. It's not even funny. I think this is also a really funny one. You kill somebody, then you hit him with a little trebuchet. I'm like doing it in the wall. Hit him with the little trebuchet. Is I mean, if that's not funny. You throw treats at people. That's what I love about these emotes, and you gotta think these were made just to be, you know, a little trolly. Oh, they're updated. Okay, 1K per score. Actually, that's gonna be pretty crazy. 1K per. I should have started to save these because I probably quick sold probably like 500 of them. Honestly, I'm not even joking. I've gotten so much rewards of the worthy that it's like going pretty crazy. I don't know what's happening now, but we'll just let it happen. Is there any questions that I can help answer for you while I'm here too? Anything that you guys want to talk about, you know, feelings? Oh, we got the trumpet solo going. We're in sync, exactly. But while I'm here, you know, I'm doing a live stream. You guys can ask me any question about anything. It's easy to answer. It's me, John Spartan. If you guys want to come on over, come down to the Mournhold, this fucking script area. Join in, apparently. Yeah, there are so many emotes in the game. Oh my gosh, you guys typed X. You guys don't have to type X. You could just come down if you want. Why in the world? So you see this? There's somebody selling, sell and buy gold. Sell crowns, cheat fast. Use code GRATH. Get 5% off. Part of me is curious to see how much gold goes for, but I do not want to type in a website that looks like that to see what its value is. I also don't want to encourage any sort of using those websites because realistically, Lord only even knows if those are real. But when I talk about inflation and stuff, it's actually kind of nice to know, like, is gold going up in value? Like, on illegal markets, is it going down? Some of that information is nice. I'm outside right now, Muffin. Send you an invite. What happens after you die? I'll have to let you know when it happens. I think you resurrected a way shrine if you don't have a soul gem on you. Sorry, I'm breaking the... Gosh dang it, Muffin. I broke the trumpet line and found this without it anyway. If I had any pies on me, I'd throw them at you. It's tea time. Oh my gosh. These emotes are so dumb. Do I ever think that they'll do crossplay? I think they will in probably about a decade. Because the problem is right now, so like, let's just hypothetically, right? If you were to consolidate crossplay, you would have not even triple, you would have, what's 6? You would have 6 times the amount of people on the mega servers, unless you had like NA versus EU. Then you'd have 3 times the same amount. That means that the guild running is now 3 times more competitive. Inflation is going to be probably like all over the place. People who hoarded certain items are now rich. People who like just had straight up gold on console and didn't have items are now poor. Like, it would be a huge change to the economy. It would be massive. It would, I think, and that's why I think that they'll do it at some point, probably when maybe the game is less popular, like maybe when they start to simmer down, you know, with things. And there you go, Snagnetti. Yeah, I think at some point they will do it. How's it going, Judge Blackheart? Sorry, I missed your message. I forget what I was answering. I think at some point they'll do it, but I think it's a long ways away. The game's just too popular. I mean, they're gonna have to add more Cyrodiil campaigns, Imperial City campaigns. Like, it would just be crazy to think how they would have to do all that stuff. What I think that if they were to do anything first, this will give us the biggest inclination if they would ever do crossplay. I think before they ever do crossplay between PlayStation, Xbox, and whatnot, what they would first do is combine NA and EU. I think they would do if they start to imply that they're going to combine NA and EU. I think at that point we can kind of see that they may move towards it in the future. But and there's not like. The thing is it wouldn't be insurmountable for them to make the game crossplay from an economic perspective, because I always think economically what would happen, right? They would have to literally like triple the amount of guild traders if they didn't combine NA and EU. You know, that you'd have to basically make these trading areas even bigger, and then they would I feel like they'd have to do something to the economy. Maybe like give every console player a little cash payout, like a dividend. Here you go. Here's your UBI for being a console player. Because what would happen is so on console, everybody that's rich would realize that their gold is about to be worthless or worth significantly less. So they're going to start buying everything that's going to maintain value in the future. And that's going to cause all sorts of problems, because they're going to say, oh shit, you know, I need to now go and, you know, I need to turn all my money into perfect row, sets, trait items, blah, 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 blah. And they're just going to start sucking up the economy. And that could also cause all sorts of problems too. Exactly. And people who have different accounts on NA and EU. Like, what happened to your characters? What if you got 16 characters on one and 16 characters on another? It would be a big headache, unfortunately. And I think the real reason why they don't really entertain those ideas is because what would the benefit be? You know, It'd be nice to be able to play with more players, certainly. But the thing is like we saw with Mid-Year Mayhem, like people were having to queue in because the servers were getting kind of full. If I want to go to Quagmire right now, let's see, probably is like 40 people inside right now. Let's see. It would completely dispel my point if it just let me in immediately, wouldn't it? 44 people. Bam. Ooh. If Italy can go from Lyre to Euros, anything is possible. That's true. That is true. But then you've got countries like, Britain that say we're going to stick with pounds, even though it can be really annoying in conversation when people reference pounds as money and then pounds as pounds, and then they refer to people as stone. Oh, I weigh 6 stone. Actually, don't know how much is a stone. How much is a stone? Does anyone know what stones to pounds is? I'm gonna look it up. Stones to pounds. Oh, so 1 stone is 14 pounds. What stone weighs 14 pounds? Like, how many times have you guys ever picked up a rock and it's weighed 14 pounds? I feel like that's not the average rock weight. I could be wrong. You guys are right on the money. 14, 13. You guys knew it. It also feels weird to be like, I don't even know how much I would weigh. I couldn't do the math fast enough. I weigh 15 stone. Oh, hip hip doodly doo. To be fair, most British people are pretty skinny. I mean, if you get fat off British food, like, you definitely have a health condition. I live in America, where our food is so greasy that you want to become 20 stone, or whatever a high amount of stone is. you want to get up there. I will give Britain some credit. When I went to go visit recently and I went to Liverpool and I ate the food there, I know I didn't bring enough snacks to last the whole weekend. It actually wasn't bad. I remember having like a sausage and I was like, this is actually pretty decent. But my parents were stationed in the military, so we lived in England. We were stationed there for like 2.5, 3 years. And it is literally a travesty what they've done to food there. They put vinegar with French fries. Why? What food is improved by vinegar? Would you ever put vinegar on a cheeseburger, a steak? No. Would you put it with vegetables, bread? No. Vinegar is not a food to put with French fries. And because they don't salt or put seasonings on their French fries, they season it and they use vinegar. No. That's like me using Febreze because I like the added freshness taste. It's like it just doesn't make sense. And then they put beans on their breakfast foods there would cause the normal person to starve. Beans on toast, but it's unlimited beans on toast. You can have as much beans as you want. I don't think it's healthy to start off a day with beans. All right, don't correct me where I'm wrong saying that pickles use vinegar. I actually don't like pickles. And I also did not know that pickles were cucumbers originally. Exactly, they are confused. They call French fries chips, so when they heard salt and vinegar chips. As a UK fella, just have Greg's sausage rolls. I did have a sausage roll when I went to Liverpool, and it was great. Like, I will get full credit. When I went there, it was good. And to give myself some, like, I did not know that I don't eat pickles. I just assumed that, pickles were just some sort of amalgamation that you guys make in a lab somewhere. It's like all the people who wanted to be vegan, but also really like Sour Patch Kids. Because they're vegan, they couldn't eat them. They just created pickles. I'm pretty sure, and this might be true, the only reason that most fast food chains put pickles on sandwiches in America, or burger sandwiches, whatever, is because of the nutritional value. If they took pickles off by default, I think that the food would just be so much more unhealthy that they would have to have different food rules. As a United fan, I cannot accept there's anything good from Liverpool. I'm sorry. But did you watch that preseason game? I actually almost went to that in person, but I didn't have the time to go. Agreed, but as a Chelsea fan. I did also go to London too. I forget what I ate in London. What did I eat in London? We went and got cheeseburgers somewhere, but it was from like a name brand place, but it was not from a name brand place that's in America. I can't think. I can't think of what it was. Hey, to be fair, Liverpool have not signed a single player, and I'm kind of annoyed by that. I'm not saying I mean, I guess they signed like some youngster or whatever, but like that kid that's going into the academy or something. But like, come on, sign some players to get excited about. They had all this money that they were like, oh, Liverpool have so much money to spend this summer, and they've not spent any of it. What the fuck? Chelsea, on the other hand, I believe they're called the £1 billion bottle jobs. Any comment on that, Unforgiven Carpet? Anything you wish to say? Just feel free, throw it out there. Are you saying that their pies are good, or Kiffin, or just pies in general? To be fair, like pastries in Great Britain are not bad, but also too, it's pretty hard to mess up pastries because it's just bread with something in it. Like I can make my own bread, and I'm not even like an expert. What am I doing going to a stable? I'm like losing my mind. That was tragic, to be honest. I don't know how Chelsea. What do you think about the Chelsea manager being fired? By the way, I thought that was like way too aggressive for how well they finished the season. I felt like they had a good style of play down. Like if I had to play Chelsea in the last like couple games of the season, I feel like it would have actually have been like a really competitive game because I feel like they found their flow. And then they were like, "Well, this guy's out of here," like to get this guy out. And I'm like, "What the fuck? Oh, we're selling more deadly items, huh? Look at this! Look at this!" That's what I'll do in my end time. I was gonna go get some Elfbane items. Which campaign will we have of Alasteris? I feel in Grey Host. Grey Host, we're gonna have Alasteris. I just hate how financially responsible Liverpool is. I mean, I guess it's good because if they're not, you kind of turn into where United was. Like United, this is from United fans. I watch Mark Goldbridge. He says that United pay the United tax because teams overcharge them, and I see it all the time, where people will just like sell like. Let's talk about Anthony. He is not worth. What did you buy him for? Like 70, 90 million euros or some shit? He's literally, you spent more than Liverpool did on a combination of the majority of their first team. Robertson, Allison, Matip. Um, who else was signed that was like really cheap? That was like a combination of all of those players. Fabinho was signed for like almost no money. Firmino was signed for almost no money. This is saw like 35 million pounds. Granted, that was like 7 years ago. Sadio Mane was signed for like 25, 35 million. I mean, Liverpool's biggest signings have been Allison and Virgil van Dijk. They signed Andy Robertson for like 5 to 15 million. They pay like almost nothing for these players, and they make them really good. Because Liverpool has a really good scout network, in my opinion. Where I think United kind of gets shafted is they literally buy these players who are, in theory really good. They put them on super high salaries, and then they never want to leave because they're making like ridiculous money, and then they're not even that good. Potch sacking was harsh. Finally started getting our players back from injuries. Yeah, like all 50 of them. You guys could have fielded an A, a B, and a C team out there. Like, at least practice is probably pretty easy. You guys could just do 11v11 twice. Like, you could have 2 fields going with, you know, the first team and the second team and the third team and the fourth team. I just don't know how they keep signing players. I'm like, I thought that in the summer they were supposed to, like, you know, have to slow down, but they just keep it going, huh? Maybe Evergloom. Maybe we got the Blastrus and Evergloom. Liverpool scouts who found Nunez. All right, I want you to. So Darwin Nunez, I do think is a good winger, and to keep in mind, Nunez got quite a few goals and assists last season. Now let me look this up, just because you guys want to, you guys want to pull out the stats. Nunez 324 stats. Oh my gosh. I don't want your advertising. What is this? Oh, this is every season combined. Don't necessarily need that. In the Premier League, he had 11 goals and 8 assists, which I'm pretty sure put him higher than the majority of everybody, if I'm not mistaken. But how many chances? I mean, does it matter how many chances, you know? I do think, like, I think that the thing is that Liverpool doesn't play with a striker, realistically. And what I feel like is kind of annoying is like, so when Mane and Salah first started at Liverpool, they had the same problem. Is they had hundreds of chances, like, every season, but they would only convert a couple of them, or, you know, a handful of them. Granted, Salah won the Golden Boot like 3 times. That's because he created so much chances, and I feel like that's Liverpool's play style, is just quick football on the break, and that they would score from it. And if you're the striker, that everyone just expects you to have so many goals and assists, that I don't think that that's necessarily. I don't think that's really how Liverpool play. You know, they don't, like, Firmino, their best striker in the last decade, well, almost decade, obviously, not including Suarez, wasn't a striker either. Pure profit, sales from academy players, and the owners keep finding FFP loopholes. I mean, that's definitely what they're doing. For the amount of money they paid for him, it does matter. How much did they pay for Nunez? Hang on, let me see. Nunez fee Liverpool. How much was it? It was £64 million. Now, I want you to keep £64 million in mind, because I want to see what his salary is too. Because I guarantee you his salary is not very high either. What's the weekly salary? I don't fucking know what. Alright, sorry, they gave me the yearly salary. 140K a week. So he's on 140K a week. I just want to keep that in mind, because now if we look at Anthony, you know, who had 0 goals and 0 assists, he was signed for £86 million, and his salary, and you per week, 250K a week. So even though Liverpool spent quite a bit of money on him, they're really good at weekly salaries, and they're decent at also getting fees arranged. And mind you, they were both signed, if I'm not mistaken, the same season. Now, obviously, he's, an example that, is really bad. Obviously, Anthony has been, like, terrible. But even Rasmus Højlund, actually, Rasmus Højlund's only on 85,000 a week. That's actually pretty good. Rasmus Højlund. Oh, wait, was that their old club? Hang on, that might have been the old club. They paid $72 million for Rasmus Højlund. It's like, I don't know why they pay so much. The biggest example of them wasting money on bad players is Casemiro. Didn't they spend like crazy amounts of money on him? Yeah, they paid 60 million pounds. So essentially the same fee for Darwin Núñez and 10 million in add-ons, so potentially even 70 million for what was no, he was 32 years old when they signed him. You will never not convince me that FFG at least buy decent players. I think that that's something that they've always been good at, was buying players at a reasonable rate. And I know that everybody who doesn't watch the Premier League right now is like, Jake, what in the world are you talking about? And I'm actually surprised that so many people are still here for it being late at night and me talking about the Premier League, especially because like everyone that watches the Premier League should be asleep right now. I mean, the thing is like, what is Núñez's current value? Núñez current market value. Núñez's current market value is still 85 million. So his actual market value has gone up since signing him. So arguably, even if you think that he's a flop and he's not going to work out, they still will net a profit on him if they do sell him. That, I think, is the difference between Liverpool's dealing and most other people is that they sell people for a profit. They sold Christian Benteke for a fucking profit. And, you know, if they're able to sell that for a profit, you know, because that was like the dumbest purchase back when Brendan Rodgers was there. I don't know why you would buy a big dude with good head game, you know, well, for a soccer team. I mean, I could think of other reasons why you'd buy a big dude with good head game, but, you know, as a soccer club who doesn't cross the ball and doesn't play, you know, with big boys in the box, I don't know why they signed him. So they do make goofy decisions back then, but I think with everything else going on back then, I think that was the least of their problems. I like Núñez, to be honest. He makes the easy chances look hard and the hard chances look easy. I think that he's still very young. That is true. Villa did sell him for a profit, but so did Liverpool, Kiffin. They sold him for a profit too. Because I remember, because they were going to keep him, and I'm like, just get rid of him, please. But FSG, you know, they were brutal. I don't even, who did they sell him to? He went to Crystal Palace. I mean, to be fair, he did play 162 games for them. And then he went to DC United. People also compared him to Holland, which was a silly comparison. It was literally only made because it was City and Liverpool signing an attacker the same season. Exactly. And that I think messed with him a little bit. Ironically, the first game that they played against each other, he did fantastically, which was nice to see. I mean, he beat City in the very first game that they played against him, and that's the season too that Virgil van Dijk got absolutely destroyed by Jordan Pickford and had like his whole leg torn, and you know that season for Liverpool was terrible. They signed literally two center backs in the winter as their center backs were just destroyed. That's where I'm like, I like Joe Gomez a lot, but I feel like Joe Gomez could also be sold. He's worth, you know, probably 60, 70 million because he's English, he's homegrown, he's a defender, and he's good. But he's just so broken. Like when Liverpool players just get broken so often, you know, it's like we need to keep them fixed. Now, granted, the one on Virgil van Dijk has literally only been injured like once ever. So it's hard for me to be like, oh, well, he just gets injured all the time. He got injured one time and then just took a long time to recover. So it feels a bit unfair to be like, oh, you know, he scuffed it. I do think Virgil van Dijk is so weird, though, because people seem to like to trash talk him. They're like, he's not even a good defender. And I'm like, I think that people forget how good he was pre-injury. He literally went a whole season without being dribbled past, which is like pretty nutty, you know? Like that's like as a defense, he literally lost by like what 6 Ballon d'Or votes to Messi. How's it going, Rambo? Thanks for the Twitch resubscription. Sorry about all the soccer talk. I promise I'll stop. Where is my Battlegrounds daily quest? I'm just like, where is it? Oh, it's to the Victor. It's like the worst one to do. That means you got to play a minimum of 3 games. I do think Haaland gets a lot of credit. I don't actually think that Haaland deserved the Ballon d'Or when he first came to City. I don't think that he did. And you guys can castrate me in the comments, but like if anyone deserves the Ballon d'Or from Manchester City, it would be Rodri. In any season. Rodri has scored in multiple finals, and now he's won the Euros as a City player who have won tons of trophies, and they're like, it's got to go to Haaland. And I'm like, Haaland just hits and tap-ins. Haaland has been at City now and has never scored in a semifinal or a final, which is crazy because he's the striker of the greatest put-together team ever. It literally took 115 charges to put this team together. It cost him 115 criminal FFP charges, whatever they're called, to put this team together, and he can't even score in a semifinal or a final. But Rodri can, and he's a CDM. Give Rodri the Ballon d'Or, and he just won the Euros. But I guarantee you, they're going to give it to somebody like Vinny, just because Rodri is like very introverted and not popular. Because these competitions are basically just glorified freaking popularity contests. Fucking Messi will probably win, to be honest. It's going to be like Messi or Vinny. That'll be who win. Or Bellingham, yeah. The sad thing is Rodri has been one of the best players in the world. And yet he never cracks. I mean, I think he's like 5 through 10 usually in the Ballon d'Or rankings. He deserves to be number 1. He's like, the Ballon d'Or is supposed to be based off like your contribution to your team. When Rodri is injured, Manchester City are shit because they can't defend. And Pep before Rodri was horrible. They literally lost the league to Liverpool by like 20 plus points. They lost the Champions League multiple times in the semifinals. Like, do you guys remember when Pep fielded like 6 wingers against Lille in the Champions League? Like, City weren't even good in the Champions League. And they had so many good players at the time. They had Aguero. They had Kevin De Bruyne. They had John Stones. And they were still suffering. I do think Cole Palmer deserves to be, I don't know about top 5, but I think that he should be up there. The problem is that Liverpool won the COVID Cup. It don't count. I don't know if I would count it as the COVID Cup. To be fair, the COVID Cup was probably the hardest league to win because you had no fans to help you, and you had the ability basically where if too much of your team was injured, you just got a free week. So everybody's first 11 was going against everybody else's first 11. So to me, it actually made it harder to win that league. And that was like the only league that wasn't close. That Liverpool team was just relentless. But Liverpool also didn't have any injuries that season, so they just went fucking crazy. To me, back then, even a few years ago, I think that Liverpool had the best starting 11. They just didn't have the squad depth that other teams had. And I think that if you need to compare them, like just compare like their European success versus City's. Just look at the matches played versus matches won. I mean, Liverpool have consistently outperformed City in the Champions League. But I also think that tactically Klopp was a better coach than Pep, which is a hot take. But because people will remember Pep now after he's put together this crazy good team that's got like ridiculously good subs. But when he didn't have those good subs and when he was doing this weird experimental football that was costing City the Champions League, people were not on his back as much as I think as they should have been. Pep is probably one of the worst coaches for substitutions that I've ever seen. Like, how many times has City won a game with their substitutes? Almost never. And I think that's where they've suffered the most in the Champions League. And if you don't watch City in the Champions League, you won't observe it. I used to watch them just because I was, they were the biggest rival at the time. and they were just getting knocked out by teams like Nice, or was it Lille? It was one of the lower league French sides, or lower tier French sides. It's like they should not be losing these games. Do I think Klopp will come back after a break? I think at some point he will, like in a couple of years, but not soon. I did not know that so many of you guys were interested in Premier League football. You guys can ask me ESO questions too. I promise I'll answer them. I promise. Also, too, if you look at how many times like Pep even makes a substitution, he literally just starts the best 11, leaves them on, and then just either wins or loses. I mean, look at the tactical changes he made against Real Madrid. I would love to see Klopp as the England manager, but I don't think that he would take it, and I don't think people would be happy with him as the manager, which is wild. So I'm actually in a fan page, and more people would rather have a random English manager who's going to be hot garbage than either Pep or Klopp, which is crazy. But because they're not English, they don't feel like they should be the England manager, which is wild. Because if the England manager is not Eddie Howe, which it won't be, because why would Eddie Howe ever want to take that toxic ass job? I mean, like, what do you? And if you were Eddie Howe, right? Would you rather work with the people who are going to give you billions of pounds illegally to build Newcastle, or would you rather go to an England side who, if you literally don't win every competition you're in, people will hate you? I mean, Gareth Southgate took England to a final twice, and nobody had done that before since 1966. Yeah, Southgate's not the manager anymore. He resigned or retired or whatever you call it. He was like, fuck these bitches, I'm out. And honestly, good for him. I feel like it was. I don't understand. I understand that people think that England should win, the Euros, but like the amount of victories that he got versus every other England manager was just ludicrous. I think literally he had more group stage wins than every single manager from 1966 to his appointment combined. I don't think it's that easy though. Like people, I had to jump from 11 to 6. I think people think that the Euros are easy because you field a good team. But you have to remember too that it's not just about putting the best players out there. It's also about team chemistry. I mean, the team that included a starting 11 with Lampard, Ferdinand, Gerrard, Rooney, they only ever got one single knockout win in the Euros. They got one ever. And they played in multiple competitions together. They had people like John Terry. It's like that team couldn't muster together a good team. Now, people will make the excuse of, oh, well, teams were better back then, like Portugal and Spain were better. It's like, do you see teams like, I don't know, France right now, like Germany, like Spain again? Like, these are teams. France has literally gone to back-to-back World Cups, and you're going to tell me that they were better, back in the early 2000s? I understand that they had people like Zinedine Zidane, and he was great, and obviously he is. But this France team is literally probably one of the greatest teams ever put together. This Germany team is probably one of the greatest German teams ever to put together. They have the best defense and the best goalkeeper you could probably ask for with enough young attacking talent. I mean, they're crazy good. So I never subscribed to the fact that like it was harder to win for England back in the day, because I actually think that you could make the same argument that the teams that were good back then are still really good right now. And they're only going to get better. That France team is young. It's only going to get better. I mean, you could argue the same thing about England, too. Plus, like, that really good Italian team was knocked out by, like, Switzerland. It's like, in knockout tournaments, anything goes. And as people who watch single knockout tournaments, like, literally anything. A red card could destroy the whole thing. A penalty, a handball, literally could destroy the whole thing. I do think what Klopp would do really well, though, if he would become the England manager, is that he would inspire that team to play until the whistle. I think that's what he's always done well. Is he gets the most out of everybody, and he's also not going to just keep people like Harry Kane on the field. And I think most coaches would also keep that mindset. Gareth Southgate just seemed to be so in tune. Like, I think his primary motivator was almost this mindset of like, all right, well, this guy's the captain, we got to give him all these plaudits. Like, I need to keep the chemistry of the team together. And I think that because of that, he kept people on and didn't do changes as often as he should have. And I do think a manager would improve upon that. But I don't know, even if he did make those changes and, played a little bit differently, I don't think that they would have won to deserve the final, to be completely honest. But do you guys have any more ESO related questions? We're starting to talk about soccer. My views are going down. We're down to 70 concurrent viewers between Twitch and YouTube. I gotta start talking about ESO again. Oh my gosh, this is why. It's because my YouTube chat froze again. I'm so sorry, everybody on YouTube. I missed your messages. Howdy, Jake. How's it going, Nervy? How's it going, John? Have a good night, says Rain. Sorry, I missed that. Thank you for the stream. Sorry, I missed it. Soccer, okay, GG. Sorry, Packer. Have you ever played Phasmophobia? Fantastic at what it's supposed to do. I've heard of it, but I've never played it. Sorry I missed your messages. I reset the chat. I hate that YouTube chat and Streamlabs seems to be adverse. But I also have my cat here with me now. She came to sit on me. You want to say anything into the mic? You're like holding the void. You want to say anything? Evie? You want to say something? A little meow? No? Anything? Please? Nope, no meows. Just a begrudging, like, can I sit down now, please? But YouTube chat is now going back in the chat again, so that's good. That's so frustrating. I don't know why these streaming platforms are just not good with YouTube. Thank you, Travis, for the meow. Oh, my cat left me. She's going to the other room where her food is. I think I'm gonna buy the Elfbane stuff in Quagmire, and then jump off for the night. But it'll probably take me a bit to get there. So does anyone have any more things that they want to talk about? Any more ESO related questions, rewards related question? I actually am at 5 stars now. I'm 49, baby. I thought you had to be 50 to be 5 stars, but I guess it's 49 because then 50 is the next one. So I am very happy that I'm done with that because that was painful. I just wanted to be able to have the Elder Scroll so I could buy it and put it in my house, But thank you, Rambo. I've been thinking about doing a 24-hour subathon or maybe a 12-hour subathon. I might take a Friday and a Monday off work just to start to do like a crazy long stream. But I'm also old. Which Ebonheart or which EPL team is most like the Ebonheart Pact? That's probably like Arsenal, They're competitive, but they just don't win. Yeah, you can earn AP by repairing keeps. You can also earn AP just by healing people too. Or I'll do it. Thank you, Travis. But I need like, what do I do for 24 hours? Like, I feel like I'd have to do like a crazy challenge, you know? That's what I don't know. Like, what would I do? I'm ready to see some PvP. Well, Q position is 1. AD or Man City. Yeah, because everybody is like, just acknowledges them and they're like, ugh. Maybe that's what I'll do is I'll go get the items and then I'll queue for a battleground. Maybe gonna have to shave my head on stream or something. I would not shave my head for any amount of money. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't want to be like Boogie2988 where I'm like, I'm not going to share my medical records for any amount of money. But it would take a fuck ton amount of money for me to shave my head. Enough for me to not have to go to work for a while, you know, to where I can grow my hair back. Oh my gosh. Q position 1. Fuck no, not doing it for $500. Get out of here, Travis. Hi, greets from Ireland. Hope you're all grand. What's Craig? What's the Craig? I don't know what that means, but love the event. Hated the PvP until this got almost didn't queue into Craglorn. Hated PvP until this got all the event titles except that bloody scamp one in the sewers. Yeah, it's a fucking annoying one. $501. I'm not gonna shave my head for $501. I still need to get the hammer. That's a pretty new one. Start an OnlyFans. There we go. Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like I would pay $500 to have all my hair back. So why would I pay $500 to shave all my hair? You know, like that's why like money's not the important things. It's about like subscriptions. You know, like getting better at video editing, learning stuff. Like to me, that's the important stuff. You know, obviously the Twitch subs are great because you know it helps Twitch think we're credible. But the important thing is really just like continuing to grow and kind of figure out like what's going to you know what's gonna continue to work. That's why I'm excited to see what you guys think of the events or the challenge video that we did because I feel like that's a really a good video. Just you know can't release it right now. I think you overestimate the value of your hair. Yeah, I do because it's my hair. Like there are plenty of people who oh my whoa 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 hey whoa whoa wait a minute. This guy jumped me literally on top of the fucking thing. This guy. I gotta get my resources back here. Oh. This is what happens when you try to buy the Elfbane stuff. Oh, he's a Nightblade too. Alright, he'll come out eventually. I think there was a video of a guy at like some sort of retail store where he like shaved his head for like $500, but then his boss fired him because he shaved it while he was on his break. I could try to put on revealing flare real quick, but my luck, I just get blown up. Golly, fucking lag is ridiculous. Oh, that's the annoying part about fighting Nightblades. Oh, that is. Oh my god, I thought I had actually killed him. That's embarrassing. There we go. Oh my god, he's got a friend. Why is his health bar blue? Did I ever tell you guys how much I dislike fighting Dragon Knights? Oh, there we go. Sorry, guys. Oh my cutie gray host is in. Who is in this building? I feel like I've never actually walked in here. What happens if you're in here when you don't own it? I actually don't know if you can queue from Cyrodiil I've never done that. That was you? Whoa, 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 guys! It's actually illegal to stream snipe. I have to report this to ZeniMax. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Wait, were you the first guy or the second one? Oh my god! If you're the first person and you killed the freaking vendor spawn, I hate you. Swear to God, I'm gonna sit in stealth in here, and they're still gonna find me because they're probably watching. Where's the nearest? Oh my god, the nearest red keep is like 2 feet away from here. Hooligans. Oh, listen. If you have Telvar, just queue to Cyrodiil while you're in the city. Don't walk your way back home. Trust me. You never walk your way back home. Nobody does that. Trust me. Even though it seems exploity to queue to Cyrodiil, just take yourself to Cyrodiil and go home. You know. Oh, you're the second guy. You did better than the first one. Either for being a gank, the first guy, came out of stealth and couldn't maximize his advantage from it. Excuse me. Oh, you're no, John. You're fine. I'm not like somebody that actually complains about this stuff. I was just reading the TOS earlier because I made the teabag video, right? And it was just funny because a lot of people were talking about like all the harassment and stuff, but it also has stream sniping. It's illegal in there, and I was like, I could stream snipe a lot, and people will message me and they'll be like, I got you while watching me, and they'll put it in the chat, and I'm just like. That was my PvE build too. You can go grab your PvP one. I mean, I'm not against fighting people. I just want to buy this Elfbane shit. I just, I feel it's really cheap to not you didn't do this. The first guy did. It feels cheap to kill somebody while they're inside a vendor. Like trying to get them in. That's why I didn't want to die because I'm like I'm not gonna be that guy that gets killed. You can bomb the vendor, but I'm gonna live. I'm a man on a mission, and it's to get this fucking Elfbane shit. Because I feel like Elfbane is also really good around PvP time periods, but this is just a little different. Yeah, if you want to grab your build, feel free. I'm not against it. It's also too like you can't. I mean, there's a slight stream delay anyway, so it's not like you're the only thing you get from my stream is where I am. Um, so as long as like if I'm in a PvP fight, like if I'm up here fighting, you don't gain an advantage necessarily because I'm not a stealth build per se. Oh my god, I'm not even going the right way. Damn, they're selling Colobian War towards 700 each. They went from 2K to 700. The Path of Mighty have fallen. My PvP ain't yet already. I didn't want to catch you off guard. I appreciate it. I thought it was funny when you said it anyway, so it was good. What sets were you using? No, because you're cheating. I want to hear his bragging about 5-star, but you. It's getting heated in the chat. Very blue guy. Kind of wish I kept my gray host one. Like queue my. I can't queue back. Oh my gosh, we're getting shafted in Black Reach. I kind of want to go see what's on Black Reach. I feel like the PvP here is just going to be the train anyway. That's why I'm like, I might go to a different campaign. That way you guys can see the action. You know, see the hands in action. There's the entirety of the yellows. I thought there was a blue guy because I seen the matriarch, but that was just an NPC. Oh my gosh, I'm going the wrong way. I'm all just sorts of discombobulated. What are not great PvP sets to sell, Deacon? It's all piling up in my inventory. Honestly, anything from your rewards of the worthy, I would deconstruct. I wouldn't keep any of them per se. How's it going, JDJ or JX? Oh my gosh, XDJX91X. That was all sorts of cattywampus. Briarheart, Eagle Eye, Valken, Scoria, Hunting's Rage with Pale Order. That's a good setup. That's more of a solo build, obviously. You wouldn't be able to do well in a group with that. But I actually really do like Pale Order for PvP. I feel like people just kind of think, oh, Pale Order has to be used for arenas. But like being able to heal yourself while attacking is actually pretty good. I've thought about doing something like that for this build because switching can be difficult, like backbarring. Just because like if I backbar and try to hit RB and put a curse on somebody, I might accidentally streak. So that's why I'm like, I might try like Pale Order or something like that. I feel like it deserves more love. Where the bitch is at? Where's the? So I came to buy a bunch of Elfbane stuff just because this is the campaign that re-own this area, but they're doing the AP train right now. So I don't know if I actually am gonna stay here because I only wanted to buy that AP stuff. And then I was ironically gonna do Battleground or two and then go to bed. I might do that. Myself to Imperial City. There's people. I don't want to take the spot here from anybody. Plus, it's not entertaining to watch me here anyway. And Quagmire, anyhow. Where is there good fighting with blues? This one might actually be a good. Oh, that's Imperial City. I'm looking on the wrong one. Oh. We'll do some Evergloom. You know, see how that's going. I had to use this solo build because nobody wants to play vet dungeons. Do you like queue and stuff? Like every time I need something from a veteran dungeon, I always just queue for it. But if I ever ask in chat, it can be hard to get people. You know. All right, let's see what the fighting's looking like here, boys in Evergloom. Oh shit! We get ourselves an X. I've been trying to find a good Stam DK build set wise. There are so many ways you could build a set there. Where's the guy that sells sets in Vlastrus? He's on that third flag that's like, they don't have Vlastrus here, but it's like on this northern end. It's like right, it's literally right here. The thing with that is I struggle with Dragon Knights because I don't really play it is like there's just so many ways you can build a Dragon Knight. Like it's ridiculous how many ways you can do it. Looks like we got the action down here, boys. I'm trying to think what David uses for his. He plays Dragon Knight a lot. Travis, are you still here? What does David use for his Dragon Knights? Oh my gosh, are people just taking the resources? Where's the Zergs at? Where's the real fighting? Like people are playing Ring Around the Rosie with these resources. I feel like a lot of Dragon Knights use. What potions are you using? Oh, Travis is still here. I think potions are something too. Like I would do ulti-gen ones. Well, Cyrodiil is also a bit of a weird situation because, like, so for example, sometimes I get stomped in Cyrodiil just because people are using like, you know, ball groups, and like it's hard to 1vx people, especially if they're wearing like coordinated outfits, you know. So from that aspect, I think you just kind of sometimes you just got to take it, you know, how it is. But if you do well in battlegrounds, it also could be how you build your champion points because obviously champion points are disabled. But yeah, look into potions, look into champion points. I don't think people use Daedric Trickery. Were you the one that said to use Daedric Trickery? Who was that? Daedric Trickery, I think, isn't used as much. An event ends Tuesday, yeah. I'm trying to think what people use now instead of Daedric Trickery. But what you could also look at is something like Rallying Cry. Rallying Cry is a really popular set too. Wretched Vitality is, yeah, it's probably better. But I don't know, like, Dragon Knights don't usually need that much sustain, I feel, in a fight like that. Like, I feel like you probably have enough. But I guess it just depends. Well, so usually Arcanists and Sorcerers are the hardest to fight because they're the most mobile classes. Like, I can streak, I can, you know, I can do shields, I can heal myself basically from death very quickly. But I have very single target damage in my nature, you know? That's usually where Sorcerers kind of fall short. But what I think if you're fighting a sorcerer and an arcanist, you need to just get better at stunning. Because like as you saw, like when I was fighting the Dragon Knight earlier, when I get stunned, you know, you're kind of stuck. You just kind of take it. I hate taking resources without like actually fighting anybody. You just sit and fight these stupid menders. They don't heal everybody. Thank you for the subscription, 92507 Vlada Veldemare. Sorry, I butchered your name when I was looking back and forth. But yeah, look look at potions. There's quite a few people that I know that when I talk to, they either will always just use the same potion. And mind you can give yourself good damage buffs, you can give yourself sustain, you can give yourself ultimate. You give yourself so much good stuff from potions that it's worth experimenting with. And don't be like David, you know, who's not here to defend himself. But Travis will tell you, David doesn't like to drink potions because every time he drinks a potion, he thinks to himself, that potion was probably worth like 10 gold. And I'm like, don't think of it like that. You have millions of gold. Do you know how poor you would have, like how many potions you'd have to drink? He probably has like enough gold to drink potions for like 5 years straight on repeat. Like, all right, John, we need to get you some better stuff than crown fortifying meals. Yeah, I don't like the meta of like everybody being like very. Oh, we got ourselves 7 siege weapons down here. It's about to be a big fight. Yeah, I do like the metas that are a little more bursty because then it's like I hate being in fights where it's like I'm in this just elongated, you know, fight where this guy's just healing himself over time. There you go, Travis. Get yourself a nice little nest egg. Part of it too is they nerfed. I think they nerfed what Calorians. Nightblades, I think, are some of the funnest. Why was that there? That was weird. Oh, that's that mount. Why does that mount just leave that like every so often, or is that guy mounting and remounting? Like, what is that? I actually really like the set from Depths of Malatar for ganking, but I do think that ganking needs more to go with it. Honestly, if I had to make a ganking build right now, I would probably use the two sets that you deal more damage and penetration when you're below 50% health. Make a stage 4 vampire, hurt myself to get below, and then just try to one shot people with like the bow ultimate and just do shit like that. That's perfectly serviceable too. You can definitely do that because I had a build like that. It's like Titanborn, and then there's another set that I forget the name of. Titanborn, that set, Battle Orcs just go to town with people. Yeah, I don't know why they felt the need, and they are changing it too. So I don't know if you guys saw, but they are tweaking the. I'm not gonna get distracted by that guy. I'm going into the keep, baby. I don't know why they felt the need to nerf the vampire so much. I think that they felt. I think that they felt that people were using the vampire just for that one purpose. But I just, but I feel like now it's got no purpose. Like, what's the purpose now? It's like, oh my, what? We lost the keep? Blues, what are we doing? Don't worry, boys. I'll go in. There's actually quite a few of them. I'm not going in. We're getting attacked. All right. We're gonna have to show off the insanely good PvP skills where you just walk around something, so that way people can't line of sight you until they give up. All right. I don't feel like any of my teammates made it in the keep either. Why are there so many reds here? They lost all of this, but they took this one. Yeah, I really do think that they need to rework the vampire because I just I feel like, and this could be a hot take. Let me know what you guys think. I think vampires should be like vampire lords, like they are with werewolves. And my chat has broken again, and I got knocked the fuck down. Just get out of here. Oh, you can't knock down those guys. One second, I gotta reset my chat box while I'm fighting this motherfucker. Now every red in here is gonna be like, what the fuck's that going on up there? We're not gonna take this back? There's like a bar of blues. Where are all the blues? Oh my gosh. Is that a Nightblade? It is a Nightblade. It was a Nightblade. Oh, you can't streak on top of that. I thought you could. Like there's oh my god, I'm just this is why like bar swapping and lag can be very risky because you just I try to Daedric curse something and I yeet myself off the cliff. Oh my god. The sad thing too is that guy can literally just respawn right here. So unless we start attacking this keep, he's just gonna come back and whack me from behind. Shout out to Jake right now. You're too kind. Oh, wait, the guy said rally on Gladsmith. Wait, is this Gladsmith? I think this is, isn't it? It is Gladsmith. Don't worry, boys. I'll be in here holding down the line while you guys get in. As they try to set up siege, I'll fuck with them. That would be interesting, converting geodes into ink, but I think that they're going to try to get more geodes into ink by just increasing the ways that you can get them. I actually don't think that those guys are... Why is this Elder Scroll moving? Oh, it's being taken back. Ales. Are they going to Ales next? But they are. To be fair, we actually don't need Gladesmith because we can still teleport around this anyway, so this actually isn't even that valuable. Somebody invite me to a group, I'm naked out here. Of course, it looks like we're also escorting an Elder Scroll back too, so that could also be part of the reason that that we're a little bit scattered. Everyone's kind of taking the Elder Scroll back home. So now that we've got the Elder Scrolls secured, do you think they're actually going to siege Ailswell? We are apparently equal on players. I just want to see a fight, I want to be I want to be in a fight. I thought that everyone was going to start sieging Glades Mist, but it also seems like people might not be going to defend Ailswell. We'll keep an eye on it. If they start putting siege down, we'll scoot on over. I'm finally in a place too where I'm not getting whacked by NPCs. Well, they're attacking both resources at once. I definitely think that they're going to be going to Ailswell. Hopefully they do. I want to be able to show off some fighting, show off some combat. Not just me fighting like a Nightblade every 10 minutes. Do you guys think that they should increase the cap for transmute crystals? Because I feel like the reason that they haven't is they always want you to feel like you need to get more of them. And it's like such a they're basically intentionally keeping it as a valuable resource. Oh yeah, I'll teabag the guard when he respawns. I just don't think that we're doing anything here. I guess we'll just go to the. Oh, what hit me? That landed in fire. Thought there was a player behind me. Is there a player behind me? Am I dumb? Like getting hit by attacks I didn't think that this guy did. Debuffs. How our team's just standing there looking at each other. Probably gonna have to go to Ailswell. The only exception would be there's no players running around here. It's all just skirmishers and whatnot who are angry at me. All right, we need to see some action. We're gonna go to Glades Mist. They nerfed Werewolves 2 in PvP. I remember at launch it was mainly ED versus AD. The most CPs were Werewolves and dwindled the numbers of AD at main spawn base. Yeah, I mean, Werewolves are pretty broken. I actually think that Werewolves are still really good. I don't like Werewolves. The thing about Werewolves that makes them difficult is that they're very easy to know what they're going to do. And they're very highly targeted. Like in a 10v10 and you're one werewolf, you're going to be targeted by all 10 of the other players. Not even necessarily because they think you're the biggest threat, just because most people just hate werewolves. So they're going to be like, fuck that guy, that's a werewolf. Everyone, crystal frag that werewolf. Get that piece of junk out of the sky. I think it depends. Like in a 1v1, a werewolf is pretty annoying. But in a 10v10, I feel like werewolves aren't very good. Does that make sense? Like in a 4v4, werewolves are good. As if at 20v20, werewolves are almost useless, I feel. Like I almost feel like as they go on, they get worse and worse. The more people in a fight, the worse a werewolf is. Does that make sense? Because I feel like they're going to be targeted and they're going to be they're just not going to be very good. There we go. There we got some action. To be fair, it's probably like fucking 0 people defending it. Well, you're also like the biggest hitbox, because I feel like they have the biggest hitbox. Oh, they literally broke in right as I'm on the wall. Come on, blues. Where are all the blues? Where are the blues? That guy's got Twitch TV in his gamer tag. Is he streaming right now? Yeah, everyone stream sniped that guy. Yeah, that's what I would say is the best way to describe it. Small scale skirmishes, they do quite a bit. Large scale conflicts, they're pretty useless. They're also not very mobile. So like when you are decently set up defensively, Like, if you're in a siege, for example, when you're not actively hitting anybody, they really don't do a lot. Where are the blues? We don't have any fire pots down. It's fucking struggle out here. Get that TTV guy. Get him. Could be only one streamer in this keep attack. Bro, my crystal frags hurt, bro. My crystal frags crazy. I'm worried that we don't have a whole lot of people here. Oh, we got the blues coming from the sides. Brothers. In arms. Oh, baby. Oh, it's nice, too, is I can throw crystal frags up here, basically, for, without even risking having to heal myself. I can just lob them. Oh, get out of range, though. Oh, shoot, don't let that guy... Focus that guy. Don't let him res. No. Oh, man. Need to get closer. But I also don't want to die and then not be able to be rezzed. Are any people still down here? The blues are coming. The blueberries are coming. That one guy in particular with all the frags and whatnot. I think he's dead. Oh yeah, he's dead. Like that one guy specifically who decided to stay in range. I'll show you guys in a second. I want to try to get more of these people. That way we get them off the siege. Oh, he's getting rezzed. No, guys, you gotta focus the rezzers. You gotta keep these people out of the conflict, you know, for as long as possible. Like, it's the only way we'll win is if we keep them from respawning on top of us. I'm pretty sure I'm on Necropotence. Oh no, they go out of range right as I'm about to finish. I have a really good combo. Oh my god, they didn't block the meteor. Oh my god. That's how we do it, baby. Yeah, the red wave really is here. Ancient Grace, Gaze's Sithis, Necropotent, Swarm Mothers, Trainee. You know, the generic, just like, give me some stats, you know, type build, you know? Oh my god, I almost streaked off the cliff. Oh my god. This is why having part of your rotation required to hit your streak button is always a bit risque. Come on, just keep throwing attacks. The red wave, don't let it overcome us. There's just so many. There's too many. It's hard to even focus them. Oh, they're in. They're in. Oh, baby, a trip. Oh my god. Wait, how am I taking so much damage? What is up here? Oh, I got hit by a cold fire. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what's happening? Alright. Ooh, I cannot fight this many people at once with this build setup. Oh, damn. I tried to get over to the wall. There's too many. Hey, that's not teabagging, but get that guy too. Get that guy banned. I'll turn into queso here for a minute. Man, oh my god, they're attacking Glades Mist after I left. This is so stupid. Fucking blues, bro. Oh my gosh, there's so many in stealth too. Of course the reds are the little stealthy fruity boys. Does that keep going? I bet you they're gonna come over here to attack Glades Mist, which would be good because I would like to do the sieging, not just the defending with like 6 people. But yeah, just mag stacking. The nice thing about mag stacking, though, too, is you're not necessarily, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just you don't have to worry about proccing. It's like sometimes it can be really annoying when it's like proccing and you're trying to, you know, combine all your procs together. You know, you got to wait for that lineup. So I like to just stack resources, you know. Was not going to mention, but saw some arrive as you were leaving. A Glades mist? That's unfortunate. Sad. Now the Reds are probably going to come back over there too, but as long as there's like, I like being in equal like group fights. You know, I feel like those are the most enjoyable in the game. You know, like those random open field 10v10s. You know, those are the juicy ones. Come on, there we go. If I was attacking, I'd attack from the south. All right, maybe not. Wait, is the doors open? There we go. We're good. We're in. We're in. Oh my god, there's only 4 people here. We're about to get, maybe wait, 1, 2, 5 people here. So there's about to be a red wave that just bursts through that door. I can feel it. I can feel it coming. That's alright. I have to retake this keep. We'll intercept them. Go back. Take L as well. We're not about to lose. Even any of them? I don't think there's any defending. Oh, I love the bridge fights. And the best thing about bridge fights is that, like, there's nothing strategically valuable about a bridge fight, you know? But it just, it reminds me, it just feels cool because it's like you're just fighting over that, like, small amount of ground. It reminds me of 40K where it's like a trillion people died to take this cafeteria. And you're like, damn, that's so metal. Oh yeah, I can only imagine what the bombers are like. To be fair, as long as you stay spread out, the bombers are usually not too bad, even if you're in like a big contained area. Yeah, like if you're in an area where there's like hundreds of people fighting, it's hard to stay like not clumped up in some capacity. Thank you guys all for being here, by the way. Appreciate you guys staying around. All my British people who talk about soccer are probably falling asleep. But we're still at 72 viewers between Twitch and YouTube, so I appreciate you. It actually makes us pretty high on the list. That is Dark Convergence. It's actually a set that you can sell with your alliance points, and a lot of people like to buy it. And I feel like not many people are actually good at using it. Like, I had a Dark Convergence build, I just didn't like it. Exactly. Those both bridge fights. So Tintin, when a bridge collapsed, he had fell down, used Dawnbreaker at the same time, and it was unintentional, but 15 died, laughed, and it was kind of a superhero landing. That's what I love about PvP, the moments, you know? Honestly, Necromancer, Dark Convergence, PvP is pretty good. Oof, you're no longer attacking them at Ayleswell. I wonder if they're going to come here. You guys think that they will, that they're gonna make an appearance? You guys think that that they want to smoke? Do I even have any repair kits? Surely I have repair kits. There we go. Let me just repair this door before we get fucking ham-fisted. Before they come to Gladesmith, they should know. You mess with the bull, you get the horns. Actually, I'm curious if they actually are going to go there. I don't know if they're actually going to do that. If I was them, I probably wouldn't go to Gladesmith because it doesn't really offer any strategic value, except the fact that the front door is open, so it would be easy to take back. Just stack on the bridges. Just hold the choke points. Sir, nobody's attacking through these choke points, but they will eventually. Like paying for a patrol. By the way, this is one of the easiest ways to get alliance points. It was. This is one of the easiest ways to get alliance points. Is all you need to do is just repair shit. It's just that easy. The anti-pull monster, not really, no. The problem is there's too many things that you need to do for PvP. Like, unless the meta became really annoying for stuff like that, and even during Mid-Year Mayhem is like when it's at its worst, you're not going to really build stuff like that in. I do think people will start using Snow Treader's boots. I think that's actually a highly underrated mythic. Where are the... Oh, they're going to go to Chalman. Those dirty dogs. I guess technically the dogs are the Dominion, but... On your max mag build for crystal frags, what does it hit for? I think it just depends on who I'm hitting, but it usually hits for quite a bit. Where's John? John, how much did the crystal frags hit you for? Oh, they're attacking Bleakers too. Opening up many war fronts. Oh, there's a red out here. What the heck? Oh, I know who this is. This is one of you goons, isn't it? I recognize this name. I recognize you, Ikilla 57 or 7511. Which one of you is him? Which one of you is it? Sorry, I couldn't 1v1 you. There's like 10 people out there. Is that you, John? Hey, John, how much do my crystal frags do in damage? Do they feel pretty powerful? Somebody was asking about it on the max mag build, and I haven't watched the numbers. I guess I could go hit like an NPC real quick, but I actually don't know. They do hit pretty hard, because people forget, too, that your max mag also causes you to deal more damage. Silence in chat, nobody wants to admit it. Alright, let me see. Alright, so this is 10k, 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 10k. I don't know. I'm trying to get one of the insta-proc ones. I got 15k for corrections, closer to 16. 17k on the red ones. 17k non-crit on the red insta-throw, and then 10k normally. Granted, that's on an NPC, but they do hurt pretty badly against players, too, because I've seen it. John thinks he got hit for 10 or 12k. That probably would have been one of the red ones. Yeah, you can spam crystal frags and deal a good amount of damage on it. Look at these res. Their little respawn point. What are you doing? You guys don't need this. They really don't need it because they took Chalman. God, that's Bleakers, not Chalman. Chalman's the keep. I'll let you try it on me real quick. Are you here, John? You out? Oh, are we sieging this bad boy? We going in? Oh, baby. We're not about to lose this keep. The 5 warriors. Keep safe. Does Battlecry apply to the NPCs in Cyrodiil? Basically, I don't know if it does or doesn't. These are questions that I actually don't know. If I did do a 24-hour subathon or something crazy for like a crazy long time, what would you guys like to see me do? Like a challenge, like beating ESO without attacking? Would you guys like to see me do something like a Cyrodiil run where I just take a bunch of you guys into Cyrodiil? I'm at Ayleswell. I think that's where I am too, isn't it? Or no, I'm at, right, yeah, I am. Is it Ayleswell? To be fair, you should probably defend the keep. You know, I don't want to kill you because the keep's under siege now too. You just defend normally. Empire run in Cyrodiil. Maybe we could do something like that. The only problem is I think Empire resets on a weird day. Is that John over there? That probably was John. Somebody shot a ballista bolt over there. Oh, it's funny. I just play Oblivion for 24 hours. That could be fun, you know? Actually, we go through and we beat every Elder Scrolls game in order. That would actually be kind of a fun challenge, but you don't know how many of these you could do on Xbox. PvP with the AC. You just want me to be sweaty? Is that what you want? Lion? Is that just what you want to see? I'm behind you at the small village. I see you, Doug, there. Oh my gosh. John, you're gonna get attacked by these other people. John, you can just defend. It's all good. It's all good. I don't want you to feel like you have to do anything for science. Just defend the keep. I know HP regen is nerfed, but the build crafting is so fun. Would a troll as the animal and trolling build be? Or wait, would a troll as the animal and trolling build be worth trying for fun, or waste of transmute crystals? Which build are you talking about? I don't know if I recognize what you're referencing. Rip John. Did John die? I didn't die. Feel bad though, because John was back there and just started getting whacked by a sorcerer. John, you can just defend the keep. It's all good, you know. I don't want you to feel like you have to come out and, you know. It always like when PvP feels, you know, like artificial, you know, or like natural. Is that artificial? Natural? I fucking don't know. I'm confusing myself, my own words. Do you think that Reds are gonna plow through this gate though? Oh, it'd be crazy if I just ripped one of them out of stealth right then and there. I'm actually blessed to be able to play PvP with a AC on and be able to look at my TV. Oh, there's John. That hit John for 7k, that one did. I don't know if that was a block, though. Could have been blocked. 7k is still good damage on a player. Wait. Hang on. Hold there, John. Hold on. Ooh, got him. Oh, we just had 2 people die. The Reds are coming. I see them in the chats. People are being defeated near Ailswell. Panic. Oh, they're trying to hit us from up top on the walls, huh? Eat the meteor. Oh, got him. That's what you get for peeking me, the king of the mid-range burst. I mean, granted, he's going to be res, but still gives us time to resurrect, even though we didn't do it. We didn't use that time to resurrect. Oh, he got resurrected. Peek me again, huh? Peek me. It's just when he whips out the cold fire ballista, just burns me. Or worse, he whips out the, what are those triple shooter things called? I can't even think of them. The triple ballistas. The lances? What are they? I forget what they're called. I'm drawing a blank on their names. Oh, he's peeking. Get him. Get him, boys. Oh, he went back into stealth. There's another one. Get that guy, too. He went back. What the hell? Did my crystal frags just go through an invisible human? What is happening? What? Oh, no. No. So close. My front bar skills are Flame Clench. Honestly, Flame Clench is probably the one that you could switch for something else. Because it's more of just like a tactical stun, and you can really just use Streak for that. And you get your Matriarch. You obviously don't need to use Matriarch, but I do because it lets me use Necropotence. Oh, that is Dark Convergence. Am I getting hit from behind? Where am I getting hit from? Oh, it's from that. Then you got Crystal Frags, which is like a decent spammable. It's got a lot of wind-up time, so sometimes I like to put other stuff on to try to proc it. Meteor is just an overall good one. What you can do, too, is you can streak people through a Meteor to knock them. I should have done it probably then, but I should have done it then. I don't know why I didn't. What you should do is when you throw a Meteor, is you should streak them, because what then happens is that they can't block it, and then they just get hit by the full weight of the Meteor. What the fuck killed me? That's impressive. I'm the only one that died from that too. That's so embarrassing. I'm getting embarrassed in front of all my people. Nobody wants to res me either. Not worth the res. Yeah, that's why I like hit him with Daedric Curse, hit him with a Mage's Fury, and then you'll probably have proc to Crystal Frag. Hit him with a Crystal Frag or two, and then just hit him again, with the rest of the rotation. I mean, you guys saw it does a fuck ton of damage when it hits people. I mean, we were killing people when they were peeking for like 2 seconds. High CP people as well, like people who were like CP 1 to 2,000. Not people who, you just hit them with a wet pool noodle and they fall over. We just need to be careful because there's probably a Nightblade that's going to come munch on our cheeks if we're standing over there. We're going to res the front door. That's why I think that I might get rid of Flame Clench. I used to use Flame Clench because it proc the Master's Inferno, and I like it for the knockback. Sometimes knockback can be really helpful, but it probably could be changed for something else. Honestly, I've thought about changing it for Elemental Drain, or honestly, even Crushing Shock is probably a really good spammable too. My only thing is I feel like as in my X ability, I prefer, I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with Flame Clench. It's the best way to describe. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean it's good. Wait, what the heck? There's I'm like, why can't I heal this door anymore? Man, how many people are out there? Hang on, let me go see. And I have my bar set up completely between offense and defense too. So like so I have like one stun on each one, which is also kind of nice. Oh, there's not that many people out here. I wish it would tell you how much damage you did in some of these chat replays. Like you could pull them up. I'm curious how much my flame clench, or not flame clench, my crystal frags did there. My crystal frags do hit pretty hard. I mean, if you're in a PvP campaign, you kind of just have to fight everybody. Honestly, just that's just the reality of it. I sometimes feel bad if I'm using like really good meta setups, but this is not meta. This is such a cheap build that anyone could use. Like, I don't feel bad using this because I'm like anybody could go grab this stuff. That was our ballista. I was like, how the heck is he putting it away? On a Sork. Yeah, Arc. Yeah, we're talking about on a Sork. Oh no, I'm not a DK. I mean, DK obviously it's good on that one as well. I use it literally. I used to use it to proc the Master's Inferno because that did like a crazy amount of weapon and spell, and I could stack that. Fellas, are we really gonna sit here and take this farm when we can go take back this outpost? Fellas, come on. I actually don't really play DK super often. Where's my cat going? I always try to keep an eye on what she's doing. My cat has started to open drawers inside my kitchen, which has become pretty hysterical. Like she'll literally just go sit. Oh my gosh, as she is. She's opening the window. And my blinds like can be opened by like you just put pressure on them and lift them, and she's figured that out so she can open the blinds for herself and look out the windows, which is what she's doing right now. She just popped the blind open and is now looking out the window by headbutting it up. John, what are you doing there? Don't, little silly goose. You don't tone down the mount for PvP, you light up the whole screen. A ganker's dream. Let him come. That's what I say. Let him try. John, you're a madman. Don't burn the ram. Alright, who's up top? Throwing shit. Watch this. Oh, I thought I had a meteor ready to go. That's embarrassing. I did not. That's funny. Oh my gosh, he's like line of sight at me. Quick, throw the frags! Throw the frags! 7k damage. That's what makes him not peak. You're gonna die and then not accept a resurrection. That's what you should do against players that, like, if you use your meteor, you should streak through them like that. Stuns them, they get hit by the meteor, and then it just does a more billion damage to them. That's like the best combo. The other, I mean, obviously too, if you can get your other combo pieces like your Daedric Curse and your Mage's Fury, it's even better. Because then too, by the time the meteor hits, it'll probably also proc with those other two things. But yeah, that's what I really like about this set though, is it doesn't require you to have like crazy sets that are hard. So no Mage's Wrath. I use this version of it. I'll show you. I use Mage's Wrath instead of the other one. I was not aware I was playing a DK. I checked because I was curious. Good to know. What? How do you? What? You guys are making. I mean, I know that you can hybridize a lot of things, but you guys are going crazy with it. Oh, it's at full health now. All right, where's the new fight? I feel like they're going this way, and then we're going this way, and we're just going around in a circle inadvertently. Yeah, I feel like that's where all the blues are gonna go, right? Surely we have to go. Chalman, right? Make sure my sorry, I like keep looking at chat because I want to make sure it's not broken again. Because it is broken because your guys' chats are not popping up correctly. What is wrong with? Sorry, one of you guys said so. The one I made in the build editor is Troll King, Elysians, Org scales, and all the buffs include give you 12.2k HP regen, which would be half, and effective weapon power of 4.8. I mean, you could certainly use combinations like that. I think that honestly, though, if you want to build some sort of like HP regen thing, I would almost lean towards building like a Pale Order type build, like a 1v whatever build. But I've never made a PvP tank. Going the wrong way down the path. I've never made a PvP tank, so I can't tell you how effective that would be. So I don't know, but I mean, I think it would work certainly. What is this guy doing? He's out here questing, sitting by the campfire. Respect. This guy's just sitting out here too. Is everyone DC secretly? Oh look, there's John. Gosh dang it, John. Does my mount stick out that much that everyone's just able to find me so quickly? This is supposed to be on like a 10-second delay. Are we even attacking Chalman, or what are we doing? Anything else? Make sure you set your Krill, it was all done at the beginning of the video. Get your rewards tier. You can also cheese the event ticket reward boxes. We really are. Oh, wait. Rewards tier 1 is the key. You only need 25,000 alliance points. You can do it very quickly on characters, take a few things. Make sure that you get your event tickets and you use your event tickets to get some of the yesteryear stuff. That's pretty important as well. And then obviously log in this month because the 12 Luminous Ink is going to be pretty nutty for you to get for free. Found you by coincidence. That's what all the stream snipers kidding. That's what they all say, huh? Do you have any item sales? We did. Our Deadly Lightning Staff sold. Yesteryear's items containers for 2 event tickets each. Yes, but make sure that you try to buy all of the garbage from the previous year's stuff. That's the real key. It's not just buying them with event tickets, because a lot of the stuff that was sold a few years ago was worth like 2,000 gold. So obviously you don't want to roll for that stuff because it's worth so little. So you want to try to actually just actively have those items ahead of time. And if you do, you'll be golden. Like the vendor. Why are so many people standing still? Like, is everyone crashing? Don't really know what to get as I got all the bags of glory, but I assume I will build a second Mulling Ball illusion pet for Q4. You have all the bags of glory stuff? That's actually kind of impressive. Impressive. Sorry, I don't stream for this long normally. It's been 3.5 hours. Stack the curation deck, so to speak. Exactly. It's like you're stacking the hand. You want to get those curated drops, baby. Oh my gosh, I'm like not hitting the menders. Whenever you fight these fucking things, you want to kill the healers, because the healers just sit and heal everybody constantly. And they drop these stupid negate bubbles. Which I thought about building a negate Sork, but I just love undo on my back bar so much. You saw it save us earlier, and then turn the tides on him and get a kill too. So I really do like undo. Literally, it's just the two of us here, though, isn't it? I didn't even see that guy's name pop up earlier at the gate. Oh yeah, you were there too with him. Ugh. What I think I might do is switch out Flame Clench for the other thing. Crushing Shock, I think, is arguably a lot better. What do you guys think? Crushing Shocks or Flame Clench? The only thing I like about Flame Clench a lot, though, too, is this is a weird interaction, but if somebody Dragon Leaps at you and you Flame Clench them, it will actually cancel out their Dragon Leap, which I just find hysterical. Were we getting the Deadlands event? Were we getting the Deadlands? I don't think so. John was planning an ambush, but they had a toilet break and missed their chance. I'm curious, John. Out of curiosity, since you've seen me, how much of a stream delay is there? Because I don't actually set one up, but I know that artificially there's one that's created. How much of a delay would you say that there is? I've heard some people say that there's just like a built-in 30 seconds, but I don't think it's 30 seconds. But sometimes it's hard for me to know, because if I ask a question where I'm like, guys, type 1 in the chat if you like chimichangas, it'll be like a minute before anyone starts typing 1, you know? One. Thank you. Thank you for that. But out of curiosity, if I stream for 24 hours, what do you think would be something cool? 10 seconds or so? That's kind of what I was thinking that it naturally would be. It was like 10 seconds. That time to type the 1 was your delay. I should have counted out loud. This fucking I've had thunder and lightning so many times recently. It's crazy. It's like I made Zeus angry or something. Yeah, the problem is though, is like if I ask you to type like the letter A, you guys have to like type the letter A. It's got to send. You know, the other piece too is I don't know if there's a delay when it comes to your chat messages popping up. That's where I'm like there could be a delay in that because I've heard people say that Twitch too is faster, like it's like 2 seconds ahead of YouTube. There's all sorts of weird stuff that I'm always trying to like figure out, but I never really truly know. I thought that was a red for a second. I was like, what the heck? I almost feel like we should just skip this. Like I feel like we're just behind them. We need to go down to like Alicia, you know, because that's where like the big people are going to go next. But you know, I don't know if anyone else is going to go there. 10 to 30 seconds. That makes sense. I'll count now. It's okay. You guys don't have to do that. I appreciate all of you though. Oh, they're taking back their resources. Woo-hoo. And we'll get ourselves a big old CGI fight. To the Elysian Bridge. The only problem is it looked like they went over here instead for some reason. I guess they wanted the AP bonus. Oh, we got two of them. Oh, I meteored way too quick. Where'd the other guy go? Wait, he doesn't want to fight. Oh, maybe. Oh, what the heck? He was hitting me with the. All right, let's not fight. And then he literally just like, nah, I'm gonna fight you now, bro. Scummy move, am I right? I was like, all right, I won't kill you. Look at that. You see that? I was so mean. Thought he was hitting me with the peaceful shield bump. You know. His friend who's a Nightblade literally let him down though, pretty significantly. Oh my god, I fucking hate Nightblade so much. You trying to kite me up this tower? Alright, kite me up the tower then. Kind of funny if I can use Flame Clench for like the first time where it would be helpful. Knock him off the side. And fight on the top of the tower. How are you gonna kite me inside this fucking tower and then not fight me on the top of it? Woo! Just knocked my phone off into my lap. Wait, there's that one guy. Killed my Twilight Matriarch. Oh, that is so... You silly goo. You guys go for the matriarchs, bro? Oh, listen. It's like killing somebody's non-combat pet. I don't know if I could beat this 2v1, though, with all these freaking negate people here. Let's see if we can get them to... I don't know if they're going to follow us or not. Probably will, but in stealth. There's one jump down. Daedric Curse, where is he? Oh, I see the proc for the... Oh, no! I used undo! No! No! I used the wrong ultimate. That's the real problem whenever you're fighting people in Cyrodiil on a console. Man, sometimes the bar swapped and the wrong alts. Man, they just get you. Oh, that's actually also not what I wanted to do. Look, they're killing my matriarch, bro. Oh, bro, they killed my matriarch again. Building up ultimate. He's gonna try to hit me from trying to come out of. Oh my god! They want the matriarch smoke. I feel like his friend is watching now. He's like, get him. Ooh. Yeah, see? I mean, that does actually hurt, like, quite a bit. Oh, I tried to do my combo on him, but I failed. Come on, come on! It's bar swap me, please. Fucked it up. It didn't bar swap me off my defensive bar. Spam the wrong things. Oh my god, throw the fucking thing. Please. This friend, oh, his friend's staying down. His friend just wants to watch. Thought I was gonna pull him out there. I missed. Oh, but he killed my matriarch, that little son of a biscuit. I fucking dodge rolled through that silly game. Ooh. That's what I hate about fighting a Nightblade is as soon as their resources are low, they could just go chill and stealth. His friend just respawned. He might have left. I've not actually had any problems with reoccurring lag. Sorry. Missed some of your messages. You can pre-quest Blackroot, Deadlands, Portal achievements now. Yep, go ahead and do that. John's hired assassins. I was curious. Oh wait, is they actually attacking this keep? Oh my god, I'm fucking so stupid. I'm leaving the fight. Hey, I was in your Discord yesterday asking for ways to make gold. I found one that I don't think was in your videos that I did was fun and easy though. What was it? Wanted to share? Yeah. What's the method? What is my best class for PvE healer? Probably a Templar, just because of just how generically good it is throughout all the patches. I mean, I don't think it's like always the best of the best, but like when it comes to just generically being up there, it generally is. What's a good gold method run for Xbox? I was making bank on ink and skill shreds before the prices dropped. My pockets are dry. Right now, it's probably to sell PvP sets, realistically. Whether they're AP PvP sets, whether they're PvP sets that you get for Telvar, or whether you grind them in the overworld. And consumables are pretty popular. Oh, is this where this little guy, he went back to the keep? Little rapscallion. Notice how he shot me? That's favoritism. That's clout. That's what that is. Is that you, John, up there? John, are you up here? I gotta send a text message, so don't kill me for like 2 seconds. Oh, they throw oil on top of me, huh? Oh, there's John up there. Look at that. See you, John. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a video on that because I've had quite a few people talk about the chase items that you can get through Infinite Archive that I sometimes like ignore. I don't want to say ignore. I'm just kind of like, I think this is better. Oh, I got him! I got him! Sorry, John. No! Then Seki got me. I thought I could get both of them. I thought I could get both. God, nobody's gonna resurrect me. Fellas, please. Bro, I'm like one of the best people for ranged attacks. Yeah, they gotta oil me up. I hate the Dominion because of what they did in Skyrim. That's literally really the only reason. And they were kind of cringe when they were first released after the beta. For the queen. You guys are literally just in an alliance because you like to have a waifu as a queen. Not like High King Emmerich. He's a real leader. You know what I mean? Why does he keep going in and out of stealth like that while he's up there? Like, why can I not lock onto him? That's crazy. Look, John got rezzed. Yeah, don't get dark convergenced, people. Oh, there's Seki, dead again. Bill Nye is a Chad. Wait, is that a person that's here, or you just mean Bill Nye the person is a Chad? So to clear it up, the monster set motif from the monster set page, you have to have it done on vet hard mode just once to be able to get it. So technically, you can get it when completing it on veteran at any time. You're just boosting your odds by having the hard mode achievement. That's it. It's always complicated to explain it, but like once it makes sense, it usually kind of clicks. It's just you just have to have the achievement. So like certain achievements in the game give you like better odds for things. So that's just the way that you do it. Just have that hard mode clear, you get extra boosted odds because you can only get it on veteran, so you can't get it on normal. But you have that hard mode achievement, you get a little bit of boosted odds. So let's say like every run is probably like a 10% chance on veteran, but your odds of getting it if you have the hard mode achievement are probably 20% every veteran run. What I actually don't know the odds because they don't disclose it. I would say it's probably about 2.5% if you don't have it, and it's probably about 5% if you do have the achievement. But sometimes I feel like odds, like it's hard to calculate odds. It's like if you didn't know what the odds of getting a shiny Pokemon were, it would be very hard to calculate just because there's so many weird factors that go into things. But the nice thing is you run a dungeon with 4 people. So if you're like me, what you do is you just split any profits that are made across everybody. Now, granted, you have people like Brandon who don't tell you when they get the monster sets, and then they'll just, one day be wearing it and say that they purchased it and they didn't get it from when you guys farmed it together. But that's all right. Just don't have a Brandon in your friend group. It's a fun campaign, though. I might come back here tomorrow, see if you guys want to come do Cyrodiil together. It's been pretty fun. It's like not overly like sweaty. You wish there was a little more big fights, though. It's the only problem. But it is kind of late at night because I'll be going here soon. Ironically, I was gonna stop like an hour ago, but then man, I just got into it. Man, the PvP is electric. Then you see your name, you know, getting kills, and it just, oh, boils you up. That's what I like to hear, John. Why is there a fight down here? There's not even an Elder Scroll down there. That's weird. Oh, they took all the keys that connected to go back. Sons of bitches. I might call it here, though, tonight. I might take myself out of Cyrodiil and then get ready to go to bed. I gotta go to work tomorrow like a loser. Wait. Yeah, okay. Imperial City. I was like, what did I just queue myself into? My brain is so tired. I'm like, wait a minute. Why am I queuing myself to go to Cyrodiil? I'm in Cyrodiil. My brain is not braining. I also put all my materials up for sale, all but gold, and I noticed a lot of people were underselling them, so I bought them all and put them for normal rate. That's actually a pretty decent way to do stuff. A lot of people, you know, I've done that for a few things. Like if I see somebody, like I used to sell Deadly Strike like a lot. That's how I probably made the majority of my gold. I probably made like over like $500 million, you know, in my time in ESO. And it used to just be selling like AP to gold stuff just constantly. And I was like the number one Deadly Strike dealer for a long time. And I would literally just, if somebody was selling it for cheaper than me, because I knew it would sell, I would just buy it and then put it back up for a normal rate, you know? And I don't oversell. You guys can see I'm not listing it up for like anything like ridiculously expensive. Like I usually sell it for like 10 to 12 for the normal body pieces or whatever. Like that's a fair rate for a set. But if somebody lists it for like 8, I'll just buy it and then list it up for 10. That way, you know, it's more market slots filled. Oh, do you guys have any other questions though before I let you guys go here for tonight? You know, ironically, I bought a pillow that I could put behind myself, and I forgot to even do it. Sometimes I lean forward for so long, like starts to hurt my back. Drop my controller. That's the problem is when you're locked in. You drop your controller and you throw it across the ground. Any final questions or thoughts before I go here? Yeah, companion stuff's pretty good. Ironically, your guys' chat's froze again. The companion stuff's pretty good. With Q4, if when they release more companions too, I think that'll also kind of invigorate the market. All good. Sleep well. Good luck at work. Thank you guys. If anyone else has any other quandaries or anything, just feel free to shoot me a message on Discord. I do a little bit of Monopoly on ESO too, but I used to do it a lot on RuneScape back in the day before I knew what a Monopoly was. Hey, you know, nothing wrong with a little bit of price fixing, you know, a little bit of stock manipulation never hurt anybody, as long as it's done in Minecraft. But thank you guys for all the support. What time tomorrow in round numbers? I think tomorrow will probably be a YouTube video. I hope that my copyright claim is done by tomorrow, and then I can upload the video of the 24 hours stuck in Stros Mackay video. But if it's not, I think there might be a stream. If I did stream tomorrow, it will probably be about 6 p.m. Eastern Standard. Thanks, Jake. Sleep well, says Deborah. Thank you. Jay says, bye, man. By the way, you're a great ESO YouTuber. Thank you. Keep it up. Thank you, guys. I had fun. I enjoyed tonight's stream. I enjoyed playing with you. Have a great night. Yeah, if we do stream tomorrow, we'll go back to Cyrodiil together. Maybe tomorrow will be a stream. As long as I don't end up working super late, you know, through any sort of tragedies, we'll do a stream tomorrow. We'll go to Cyrodiil together in a campaign where everyone can join in. But that will be